I'm live, but not live, but live. What the fuck? Oh, I think I fixed it. I'm live. Oh shit. I think we're in business, I'm folks. Live, but not live, but live. Word. YouTube been changing up so much shit. This shit ugly. Alright, fix this motherfucker. If y'all people at that other stream, get their ass out of there. That shit's gotta go. God damn, that took for fucking ever. But we finally live the right way. Giddy. In this bitch. Oh my goodness gracious. I am a meme, bro. Cause that was way too hard, bro. But what's going on? What's poppin', y'all? I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in like 2 weeks type shit. But that's fine. That gives them more shit to talk about today because this last chapter was good for a lot of different reasons. Everybody in the top of the town right now is the legendary sword used by Oden Kazuki himself, ENMA. That sounds fucking beast. And in the biggest revelation is that it's the only sword to ever scar the unscarable Kaido. How it was done, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that Zoro's probably gonna get it. Yeah, we have been having a lot of trouble, Sunny Lollipop. But yeah, man, it's crazy. But we in this bitch. You live on the wrong vid. Thanks, Draco. But yeah, I'm not even gonna monologue for too long right now. I'm just gonna get straight to it. Just get some people in here. I'm sure y'all like to hear me speak, but y'all didn't just come to hear me today. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna start it up. How you guys doing today, though? Talk to me, baby. Oh, y'all been doing good. What the fuck? I'm trying to make a Google Hangout. Just tripping. Keypad don't work now. Like, I love how in Google Hangouts under moderate it says like ready to go. Thirsty ass. Oh, okay. La da 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 da. Bro, what? Google wanna be a hoe. Let's do this moderate. I don't even want to do that. Because then that group's gonna be dependent on moderate if I do that. I'm making it way harder than it needs to be. That's bless. Well, it said you were ready to go, man. I don't know. You talk to Hangouts. My God, my God. Did y'all enjoy the chapter? I give it a good 8 out of 10, man. That was a good one. That was really a good one. Thoroughly enjoyable. So yeah, I'm gonna get the link up to some folks. See who's around. Zoro don't fuck with the sword god. Zoro don't believe in gods. Why you believe in Luffy? You don't even read One Piece. If you want to leave, you leave. You ain't gotta lie to me. Who the fuck? I'm not shorty. That's my worry. Anapodokyo Pokia. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Devil Leg playing Overwatch. Maybe he'll still pop in. And we gonna see. I mean, it's Saturday. Y'all can't be doing too much, right? And if you are, then to hell with you.
Have no fear, the loner is here.
You really need a new moniker, dude.
Why you say that?
That shit's gay. I'm kidding, dude. Plus, even if it was gay, we don't discriminate against gay people around here.
Yeah, well, I'm the lurking legend, so it's fine with me.
You know, lurking legend could also be a synonym for gay.
I'm not following.
Let's see. How'd you like the chapter, Loner?
I mean, it was cool, man. Like I could care less about the whole Gikimaru and Komatsu stuff, about the
Why?
other stuff. I don't know if it's just not like all that interesting to me. Well, but
So you're a meathead too, huh?
no, it no, I just thought that it was okay. Um, I'll probably say the chapter before this was probably better,
Mm-hmm.
but towards the end, like with the sword, was kind of out of nowhere.
All right, all right. I mean, out of nowhere. I mean, a little bit out of nowhere, but at the same time, you one would assume that Odin had a famed sword,
Yeah,
and on the other hand, where was it? Was it buried with Odin? No, she got it.
yeah,
My only question is, she said that her father
Well,
gave it to her. So,
well, hello, nigga.
what was good, nigga?
Damn.
I came in. I thought the host was supposed to, greet the guest, but you know what?
I didn't even notice you arrived. You started talking.
Well, goddamn.
What's up,
What's
man?
going on, y'all? How y'all
what's
doing?
up, Silvers?
Not much, not much.
Chilling, my guy. Chilling. Moderator said
Nah,
the
but
link doesn't work. Moderator, that sucks to suck because everybody else can use it.
what was I about to say? Oh yeah, she said that Odin gave her the sword, so that means, well, obviously he had to give it to her before she died. He died before Toki sent everybody into the future. So why did he give it to his youngest daughter instead of his
Instead of
oldest son?
Momo.
Yeah, instead of his oldest son.
Maybe because he
Yeah,
knew
well,
Momo was a bitch.
Which is another thing. Wait for the official before you start jumping to conclusions because little details like the wording does matter.
I
That's
mean,
all.
go ahead.
cause I'm like, if it would have made like more sense for him to give Momo the sword and then send them into the future instead of like giving it to her, in which like it could get stolen, get lost, or she could die.
They probably just kept it in in like the Kozuki castle, and it's just there. He probably didn't give it to her, but because she was the only Kozuki left, it just went to her. That's how I'm looking at it.
Very possible.
But let me ask y'all this, because a lot of people are just assuming it. Two things. One, do you think it's one of the 12 top
I think it kind of
Owasmodo?
has to be.
No, I don't believe so.
Why?
You mean the Black Blade?
No, I'm talking about Enma.
I'm talking about Enma too.
Is it one of the 12 alongside Mihawk's Yoru and Whitebeard's Basento? I have not learned the name of that Basento yet.
I don't think it was stated.
Well,
Yeah,
like
I'm saying
it has
no.
to
It
be.
was stated.
Well, like it has to be some type of like top sword if it's
Yeah, it
short
is.
Kaido.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And I believe it's of the 21, which is a grade below it. Because, like, first off, like, even though I just said wait for the official, she said it was an even exchange. She's going to give him, she said it was an even exchange. She said she'll give him Enma for Shusui.
But I don't. That's not what she's saying. It's an even
Yeah,
exchange. I
I
believe
don't
she.
think
Hold on, Luna.
he's
Hold on,
okay. Go
Luna.
ahead.
I believe she's saying it's not an even. It's an even exchange because of what Shisui means to the country.
Yeah, yeah, it means that to the country, but in terms of strength of the sword, I
But
think
I
Enma.
think it's just that, and that's it.
So you think Zoro is going to get one of the 12 one of the 12 top Owazamonos right now?
If there are people that really truly believe that he's going to actually combat with the commander, and this is where he's going to get his large power jump by the end of Wano, I feel that it only makes sense.
I
No,
I
he's
just
keeping
cannot see.
Shushui. No, he's keeping it. He's not gonna give it up.
Now, here's my second thing that I've seen a lot of people just jump into. Do you believe that Zoro is going to be a major, and when I say major, I mean like serious player in taking down Kaido now that he uses Enma?
Uh,
No.
I'm conflicted
Thank you.
about it. I don't think
No.
he's going to be a major player, but I think his role is going to be increased. Before I didn't
Yeah,
think he,
exactly.
before I didn't think he had a role. Period. And
How
now I
do you
think he might at
introduce
least
Enma though?
land a blow or something.
It's Chekhov's gun. Why introduce it in that context if you're not going to use it? Like narratively speaking, it's Chekhov's gun. Don't introduce it if you don't intend to use it. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is it's going to be it. The way Kaido has been presented, he is not getting taken out by a 1v1 or a 2v1. It's going to be a large group versus Kaido at first. And everybody has to do some type of damage in order for somebody else to follow up. Ooh, excuse me. In order for somebody
Mhm.
else to follow up on that damage. Zoro can be one of those people. Luffy is getting his Haki in order to do it. Whoever else gets a power up in order to deal, like, to soften Kaido's weak spots up in order for other people to follow up, they participate too. God
Yeah.
damn, what the hell's wrong with me today?
Yeah. I feel.
Stuck with you
You're
again.
just get a glass of water. You'll be alright.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
well, it gotta
more
be a
water.
team effort though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a team effort. And as for the whole Zoro and Enma thing,
Oh,
someone
there
Zoro. Wait,
Hey,
who?
Madara.
It's my
Oh, it's
don't
going
worry
on.
about me, Silvers. Go on, Silvers.
Oh no, I wanted to say what's up because disrespectful niggas like Vergo don't like to say what's good to the people who join his
Bro,
stream.
Exactly.
So what's up,
because
Madara? How
What's
you doing,
good?
Dritz?
oh my god,
So
I
you
I
can
I
recognize
still haven't even addressed Dritz. Calm down.
because you wasn't going to.
I really was, but there's a such
To
thing
be
as
fair to
people are in the
Vergo,
flow of
he usually says
conversation.
what that to me whenever I join.
When
But
when
when other niggas join, he'll say,
bro,
"Damn,
when the
son."
flow of conversation is going, it's a little odd for me to just like, hey, stop everything you're saying. Hello, friend.
I mean, it's your stream.
I
Vergo, you're
understand that,
aware
but
that your
whether
stream
it's my
audio
stream or
quality is
anyone's
absolute
stream, it's
garbage?
called I have manners, and I'm just not wild.
Virgo,
Yes,
are you aware that your stream audio quality sounds like shit right now?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of adjusting it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You might
No,
not want to talk about anything if people aren't going to be there to listen to it.
but
Yeah, I got you.
No, but in terms of the whole swords and which sword, like the sword mix up and who's getting what sword, by the end of Wano, regardless of the things that came before, like everything that led up to it, I do believe Zoro is leaving Wano with Enma, Wado, and Katetsu the second. She's and whether Momo comes with the crew, everybody know. Well, if you don't know, I believe Momonosuke is going to join the crew. He is going, or if he stays in Wano, I believe he is going to earn the right to use Shisui, but not right now. That's how I think the sword where the swords are going to be divvied up to. But as for like Katetsu the third, I don't think it's going to be broken. I don't think he's going to leave it anywhere. I don't think he's going to give it to anybody. What's wrong with him just having it on the ship?
Just having it.
He has it on the ship.
Just has it to have.
He has it. It's an upgrade. Like we don't ask what Sanji does with his old shoes.
Nigga, are you serious?
I think you realize how pedantic of a statement that is, Silvers.
That wasn't a serious statement, dude.
Okay, the shoes thing, yeah, it wasn't. But
no, just the idea of just keeping old shit and it's just gonna stay like that. No, from a narrative perspective, that is never something that makes sense. It's like Nami like having her old climb attacks, they're just kind of there.
Yeah, they
The
are.
old ones
They are
actually
just kind of
disappear.
there.
Nah.
Well,
No.
yeah, she. For all we know, yeah, those old climate are still there.
No, dude.
I'm not sure.
Okay, what happened to Nami's old climate attacks? The
It's
one
a
with
shonen.
the big.
They just disappear into the black void.
Okay, then
Do you think that
Katetsu the
Usopp
third-
still has his slingshot?
Yes. Well,
Dude.
no, he probably
Well,
whittled,
the giant.
he probably whittled that one down to the one that he has now, or he just said fuck it and like Drit said, it disappeared into the void. But I'm talking about I'm speaking narratively. Zoro's just gonna put it on the ship, and then it's going to disappear into the black void, unless he sees Tashigi and he just tosses it to her like, "Hey, here you go."
If
And then it
Zoro was a
disappears.
side character, I would totally agree with you, but he's a main character.
I don't think Zoro. If another one of Zoro's swords breaks, then it just goes against everything that he was taught over the times.
He could give it
Hey, I don't
away.
think it has to break.
No, yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm just saying most of the points that I've argued people with, and because I don't believe in the theory that they're gonna melt down Katetsu the third and second to make a whole new sword for Zoro.
I would rather have that than what's happening right now.
I just don't. I don't see that happening because that one.
I don't see it happening either.
Yeah, I get that this is a like that it's a shonen and it like real world logic really doesn't apply, but that's not how you make katana. That's how you make broadswords, sure. Just melt them down and reforge them. But katanas, you have to fold steel. There's there's like a cord and a core and everything that goes into making those, and it just doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, by the time Wano's over, I think the three sword Zoro's gonna have a Wado, Enma, and Katetsu the second.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, the thing is, so I'm sorry. So he's gonna have Katetsu the second and Emma. Would you believe?
Yes, the sword Luffy had, and
Correct.
the sword that Hiyori or Komurasaki is giving him.
Okay.
Don't you think that's too much?
No, because they're all.
I think it's enough if you guys really want to power scale.
21 they're all 21 Owazamonos.
Well, we don't know what Emma is yet.
Yeah, well, yeah. Katetsu the second is on the same tier as Shusui and Wado.
Whoa, Durson. And Durson. You got a lot of air, bro.
And Longy Cuck Smoke, that is a hilarious name. I am not a Yonko level YouTuber. I'm barely I don't know, name a fodder pirate on Alvida's ship.
Wow.
That's what I am right now.
So you're not as Buggy's crew. Forget it.
I'm you know that guy in the background that always goes, "My leg." I'm the guy standing next
That's
to
you as a tuber?
I'm the guy that's standing next to him.
You're not even him?
I'm not even him. Like, just to put it into perspective, Vergo has more subs than I do.
I don't know what
That's
that's supposed
truly a
to mean.
shame.
I've also probably been at this a lot longer than you. What does that mean?
I've been doing YouTube for what, like
Yo,
3
what's
years,
happening?
maybe 3-4
Jesus,
years.
Darcy,
Am I
you
lagging
are
or is
next level
everybody else
today.
lagging?
There you go.
Vergo, I've said this before, and I'm about to say it again. Why don't you just use Discord?
I don't know. Because I don't know. I just don't. I prefer Hangouts. I prefer a set 10 people.
You can set up. Never mind. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vergo.
Listen, he's
Absolutely
learned
right.
from Braga just like I learned from Braga to use Hangouts. This is the way it is.
Yeah, I used to use Discord, and it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I enjoy
the only
Discord.
thing I'd fix up with my Hangouts is honestly just the audio quality. Honestly, this happens now. Ever since I've started syncing it up with my OBS, it'll be shaky for the first 10 minutes of the stream, and then it gets back in tune.
I don't even know like why that's even an issue for me. I've never had a problem with OBS and
I
Hangout.
didn't used to either. I'm not really sure what's happening as of late. Ever since the new YouTube updates, it's been out of whack.
Yo, what's happening?
There we go, man.
Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
Finally,
Oh,
good.
no, you're good.
You're good, Dirk.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good, Durson. Can you not hear us?
All right, what's happening? Nah, y'all see, y'all choppy to me, so I think it's me.
It is.
Yeah, it's you.
But moving on past the story, because there's a bit more that happened. I guess you guys didn't. It seems a lot of people didn't care much.
What?
Huh? There seems to be a lot that didn't really
my
care.
bad. I had a little bit of road rage.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Not many people cared for more than just the sword.
I'm mute.
Oh my god.
Turn off the camera, bro. What the heck? I'll probably help out.
Go
your
on,
FPS.
Vergo.
I'll
What
look-
are you saying?
I said I actually enjoyed more than just the sword
Nigga, you
part.
gotta turn shit off.
No, he's saying that'll probably help the audio for you.
Bitch, just don't look at my face. Yeah, I turn off the mic, but I ain't turning shit off, man.
He's trying to help you.
Oh, man.
But I'm saying though, so the Kawamatsu thing and I'm sorry, was it Onimaru? What was the name of the fox?
On your mark, yeah.
Yeah, the fox.
Yeah. That was interesting. How basically Kawamatsu is getting ready to basically kill himself. Due to the fact that he failed his mission. Because Madara, was that you that I was talking about that he failed?
Well, yeah. When he
And I said he wanted to go find Hiyori to like basically reconcile his failed mission.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't think they were going to find one another that quickly. I didn't think that would be like,
All right, we in the bit.
like you
I'm
know,
good now.
Yeah, you good now. I mean, yeah.
Hey, that's crazy, man. I just bought me a new hat. As soon as I put it on, the damn reception started, getting back
think it's
right.
the hat?
Man. Might be
Yeah.
might be the hat, cuz.
Durston, you are in rare form today, man.
Very much so. He is. He's in very rare form. Nah, but yeah. So he was about to kill himself. Obviously he came across Onimaru and the dudes who Onimaru chased off because they were trying to rob the graves. But Onimaru falls because he's lost too much blood. Long story short, the real emotional part of the chapter was where Kawamatsu and him came to an understanding about
During the little
swords.
class, he's gonna take his arm off though.
Exactly. He was like, "Hey, either you're gonna let me get these swords, or you're gonna go on and bite off my arm and chew on it, but do one or the other."
Yeah, either way, I'm going through with this.
Exactly. Either way, I'm still getting these swords up. So it was a nice tie-in because not that I didn't care about Gyukimaru or Kawamatsu until this chapter, but he gave us an added investment into them now. So that way, if he takes more panel time with them, I don't really mind so much.
Also, pretty crazy the fact that it's a Kitsune.
Yeah.
I was actually about to ask y'all that. Do you believe that that's a devil fruit, or do you think it's just a mythical creature?
It's got to be a mythical creature.
I think it's just a mythical creature.
Off the sole fact that we know that Katarina Devon has the fox Kitsune.
She has the
she has the nine-tail fox.
Okay, nine-tail.
Yeah,
all right.
nine-tail. Yeah.
she doesn't have the.
I'm leaning more towards the idea it's a person who ate the fox fruit, and that was a retainer to the leader of Shimotsuki Village. No, not Shimotsuki Village. Lord Shimotsuki. It's a village, a title, and a name.
So you think he's a devil fruit user?
But that doesn't make
the fox is Odin.
Since it's Oda, I'm gonna say it's a devil fruit. Like I'm gonna just go on and say it's
I feel,
yeah,
I feel like
any other series, I would definitely just come straight out and be
but
like, yeah,
I don't know. It's just I feel like I ponder this every time we get somebody that might look quirky or is different or could be of another creature of another race. Everybody immediately goes devil fruit.
I don't think it's a devil fruit.
That's because it's been the case every time.
90% of and like 99.999% of the time, it always is a devil fruit.
Yeah. It'd be
people think that Kawamatsu's using a fucking devil fruit.
But Vergo.
Can we come to the conclusion? That Kawamatsu is a fishman?
Yes.
He is a fishman.
Oh, okay.
But that was
the fishman. The
but
fact
that was
people
my
are
other.
calling him. The fact that people are calling him a kappa, like an actual mythical creature, is just Wano ignorance. I mean, they've never seen it.
I know. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that for months now.
That's fine, but then you have the ladder of these folks that are calling it a kappa devil fruit, and I'm just like, why?
We saw that he was swimming. We know he swims.
So
nigga, look at his hands. That's all you need.
But even there, look at his techniques. All of his techniques are fisherman karate based. Like, come on.
Right.
Nigga, I've been saying this. and they think I'm crazy.
I'm just waiting for the moment where he throws the water bullets, but instead of a bullet, he twirls it around his
like a
finger
slice
into a shuriken. Then I got my grenade.
Hey, but can we talk? I don't want to get off track because I'm about to go on a fucking Kawamatsu hype train, so I don't want to get off track. Just go back to what y'all talking about.
What did you say again, Vergo? When you were we were talking about is it a devil fruit or is it a creature?
Yeah, but every time someone seems to pop up that is peculiar and think, oh, that person's got devil fruit. That person's got devil fruit.
But okay.
There's things that happen that don't have to be devil fruit related. Hawkins uses fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards. What's that gonna do with devil fruit?
Okay, but against that, I'll say this, Vergo. Before this arc, we thought Kaido was a mythical dragon. Turns out it's probably just a dragon
devil
model.
fruit.
Yeah, but
it's probably just gonna be a dragon fruit model.
But what about
dragon? Like that's all it's gonna be.
But what about the dragon that Punk Hazard?
We've already known that was a scientific creation.
The scientific creation from Vegapunk plus Monsters is a prelude to One Piece, and in Monsters, Ryuma killed a dragon.
Nigga, dragons can exist.
One Piece already.
Yeah. It's just
existed.
But the thing is, that's different. That's different because like creatures exist, like different type of animals exist. But we're talking about like different fucking powers and shit. Like that's what we say the devil fruit argument. Because a fucking dragon can exist, but if a dragon go and fucking turn into some other shit, you're like, hold up, Trap. Did that dragon do something? Did that dragon eat a devil fruit, my nigga?
He just turned into a whole other species.
But that's like the lore. That's the lore of a Kitsune. They're supposed to be able to transform.
Yes, right. But you're arguing two different things in a world that has a different magic system.
Yes, because again,
but what about Hawkins?
People, everything is just strange.
Hawkins, we've already seen that there are people who can predict or see into the future.
Exactly, Madam Shirley. She can predict years into the future.
Which is fine. Which is why I'm saying, like, when we see these things, I don't think you should automatically scream devil fruit.
Falls under the category of the magic system already set up.
Yeah, precognition and shape-shifting are two completely different things.
Yeah, One Piece isn't like your average fantasy where, like, the magic is a little less defined.
This is
have to have explanations.
I understand that, but there's definitely like mythical elements in One Piece. Like if you think about like the whole
well, what mythical element cannot be explained by the power system?
No, the only what's it called? The ship.
The Clubotoman. That's the only thing, but that's
the going Sunny.
But that was already explained as the spirit of a ship manifesting to help somebody.
Right, there's no debate about that being like an actual person that can morph and stuff. that is like doesn't fit.
My point is that
like the ship isn't like the entire ship isn't becoming a person, and now the ship isn't there. It's manifesting a spirit.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
Kitsune's like actual animals morphing into a person that just doesn't exist as far as we know.
Yeah,
I think I'm more hopeful of the fact that maybe it's a new route that Oda is taking more than that actual being evidence behind it. But
for me, this late in the series, and I know that that's like an argument that's been passed around a lot, but this late in the series, I don't think you can like it's just bad writing.
Okay, this late in the series, you wouldn't have thought we'd get fucking time travel. You don't know what's going to happen.
No. I'm saying this. It could
but the time travel falls under the category of the devil fruit.
It could be that the Kitsune ate the devil fruit, and therefore he gets to turn into Gyukimaru. It could be that way.
Yeah, a Kitsune is just a fox.
It's just a fox, exactly.
Yeah,
just fox like they have that gigantic chicken on the island in Wano. What if that chicken ate a Zoan model, human, whatever?
Just think Chopper.
Yeah, and that's what
Zoan model breadfruit and turn it to the Popeye sandwich?
That's what I'm going with. I believe that it's either a person who ate a fox fruit or a fox that ate a human fruit.
Human fruit. I think it's a fox who ate a human fruit.
Yeah, and I said this on my stream. If it is a fox that ate a human fruit, we need to get the model for that human fruit, and I would like for Oda to finally give us the model for Chopper's human fruit.
It's probably a monk fruit, bro. That's all that probably is. Model monk.
Model monk.
Model monk.
I mean,
the human fruit model monk. So based on your profession, the devil fruit. So I can get a human fruit. I know this. I'm just being an asshole at this point.
Of course.
So like Silver's got the human model coon.
Oh no!
Construction worker say that?
But I'm saying Silvers.
I ain't talked to Silvers in so long, so I ain't called him a coon in like some months. So I had to do it.
But you have to think about Sengoku. He has a human model Buddha, and he's just a golden Buddha.
Yeah, but a Buddha is a god. A monk is just a profession.
It's just a type of person.
But that's a mythical zone. So
human model eunuch.
A Buddha is a god. A monk is like just a guy in robes and a stick
and like tattoos and junk. I'm going off of what
tattoos.
Look at his face.
Look at Aang. That motherfucker's a monk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Fair argument. Fair point.
The model avatar, then, is that it?
If there's an avatar model,
be broken.
If there's an avatar model of a human fruit, the series just got like a whole lot better.
What you mean? No, horrible.
Because Avatar is a great series. What the hell?
But that's gonna make it good.
It's not Avatar, nigga.
Unfortunately.
Right?
Wow, Drift.
So you're saying that you can have a
your whole tone
is
just so solemn.
Maybe do something that is model of the Avatar in the series, it'd be great.
No. If you bring the Avatar into the series and then bring everything from the Avatar series into it, then it becomes
this would be one of the situations where
go read My Hero Academia.
And it just makes something awful.
Yeah, it'd be.
Go read My Hero Academia.
Go read My Hero Academia. You'll see Deku the Last Quirkbender. Enjoy.
Christ. I'm screaming.
Enjoy.
Yo, My Hero's actually pretty good right now. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, but that's what this stream
That's what I've heard.
That's what we streaming about.
Oh no, I was just saying it was good, nigga. That's it. I ain't saying nothing else, dog. You heard me. I kept quiet. I said it was good.
But even if he already gives him that offer, Zoro also seems like he's very adamant about keeping that sword.
I mean, yeah, because Zoro got the sword from the fucking owner. Like, Ryuma gave him that sword himself. Whether people believe Zoro's story or not, he doesn't fucking care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely that Zoro knows, because people don't think Zoro knows the significance of the sword, which probably he doesn't. But the fact of the matter is that Zoro beat the owner, and the owner told Zoro that this sword would love for you to be its master. Because Zoro beat him. So it's like Zoro. I mean, for Zoro, that's hard. That's almost like telling him to part with Wado Ichimonji. Like, heck no.
I feel that. And if I were him, I don't know if I give up Shisui.
I mean, I see him using ENMA maybe for just this arc to inflict pain upon, because one, according to legend, ENMA is a fire sword.
That's actually, according to legend, it's just the sword of the devil in Buddhism. It's only on fire because of the devil.
Well, I'm saying for Zoro, Zoro's been interested in learning how to cut with fire. That's what when he saw Kinemon do it, he got interested in it. Again, Usopp, his lies become real, right? On Zoe, he said Zoro knows three-sword fire style. So Oda.
Wait, he did?
Yes, he said. Remember when Usopp was hiding behind Zoro's back and he was afraid of the minks? He said, "Stay back. This guy knows three-sword fire style."
I don't remember that. I want to go back.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, it's in there, and we know with Usopp, his lies become real. So one of those ways that Oda could play into that would be for him to give ENMA that property, and for Zoro to use it. I don't see Zoro leaving the island with that sword. If he does, cool. But I think he would just use it for that fight, and then that would be it. But who knows?
So increased strength. Say it is one of the 12 grade 12 grade swords, and it gets a huge power jump from it, so to speak. Wouldn't it be like kind of fucked up for him to leave and then decrease in strength?
Well, the sword, according to Mihawk, is not the sword that makes a man. It's a man that uses the sword.
Yeah, it's the man that makes the sword. But at the same time, we already saw what the huge power increase that Shisui gave Zoro when he first used it.
Yeah. Didn't he immediately say that he felt stronger?
He said the blade has way more weight to it, and it's giving his flying slashes a lot more power.
Yeah, because it's immediately when he used it, it upgraded from 108 pound cannon to 360 when he used it.
So this is like Sanji getting the raid suit because Zoro's not strong enough. This is technique. He needs a sword to make him stronger, right?
You're being facetious, and I see it.
Right? It's literally the exact same. To me, as I've always said, Sanji, however the way you want to spin it, you can say Sanji earned the suit because he's of Innsmoke, and by birthright, that's his. Or you could say because his family was still trying to be funny with him, they gave him the suit so that way he could disappear. Because that's the functionality of his suit. It's stealth black.
Either way, like Sanji and his raid suit, I'm not the biggest fan of the raid suit, and that's only because of his design.
Really?
What's wrong with his design?
He got his fucking clown shoes. He went from wearing these slick ass suits to goddamn clown shoes. Like, come on, bro.
Someone getting arrested?
Bro, it's for
drink. That's fucking sauce because he's a true blood nigga.
Yo, that's for drink though, bro.
Damn right. And use a coon.
Damn.
We start calling him a coon.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's this energy, bro?
Cause Sauce think just because I had a good job and I didn't blame the white man for everything, I'm a coon.
That ain't had nothing to do with it.
That's the entire conversation.
Nah, then you was talking about how niggas and they self-hating and all this other shit just perpetuating the idea that
all
race right now.
Is that what you about to do right now?
And I'm not about to do this with you. So
not the correct.
All right, my coon friend.
Here we go.
So continue our conversation.
Someone said Sanji's gonna get a raid suit design upgrade and power upgrade.
Oh yeah, Sanji did say that he was gonna change, like he was gonna make some changes to the way the raid suit looked.
Thank you. But yeah,
the raid suit is fire how it is, man. You better not fuck with that shit.
I like the way it looked. The stealth black design is pretty nice to me. I think some of these adages are probably just gonna be for the Diablo Janbe person. Honestly, I like to think.
I think he might just put the straw hat symbol on the cape.
That'd be cool. I would like that a lot, actually.
I'm hoping he tears the whole thing apart and just makes it into one of his suits. Everything still works the same. It's just it looks like a suit.
How would you feel about Franky modifying it with cola and all of a sudden Sanji shooting laser beams?
That goes into the Sanji is upgrading from fire to plasma theory, and I hated that shit.
What is that theory?
That Sanji's next upgrade is instead of using fire on Diablo Jambe, it's gonna be plasma.
Nah, his next upgrade is, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Sanji's gonna be fighting somebody and he's gonna be getting the dog shit beat out of him, right? And then the fight gonna go around and then they're gonna hit them into a secluded area where nobody else at. He's like, well, I didn't want to do this.
Oh no.
Okama
I knew that's where you were going with this.
He's gonna make sure nobody else see, and he's gonna Okama Kimbo the shit out of somebody's ass.
That'd be so weak, but he did learn it.
Didn't somebody do like a fake chapter reaction to, like when the chapter before the chapter came out? Somebody did like a fake chapter reaction. And he was like, "Oh my God, Sanji just did hell wink."
That's what he gonna do. He gonna do the hell wink. He gonna face a woman, and it's gonna be like a dire situation. He's like, "Nigga, I vowed never to hit a woman." You gonna wink at her and fuck her world up. And it'd be like, technically, I didn't hit her.
Oh my God. I feel like Sanji wouldn't even attempt to do something like that. That's just not him.
Unfortunately.
I would hope not.
At one point, I did want Sanji to like overcome this whole thing about hitting women.
Wait, you say
everybody.
You said it's not him, man. Look, I thought Sanji in a dress with makeup wasn't him, but apparently.
Nah, there's
at least 2 years, man.
South guy. You know those aren't even close to what I'm explaining right now.
Nah, nigga, I'm just saying that nigga Sanji been known not to keep the same energy.
Yeah, but he was told from a young age, don't hit women. He weren't told, don't go full like training.
I know. I'm just bullshitting. Just giving Sanji a hard time, but that's my nigga.
I remember when he first got the raid suit, and everybody was saying like, "Yeah, man, his raid suit gonna be dressed in an apron and shit." I'm like, "Yo, wow."
I'm screaming.
Yeah, that's because niggas hate Sanji, man.
They really do.
They really do.
They hate Sanji, man. You can't talk good about Zoro unless you got some Sanji hate in there. That's the only way it works.
No.
Kev Acoustic said Zoro is already stronger than Sanji even without that blade. Stop bullshitting, you dreamer.
See?
I mean, probably.
See?
I mean, he's not wrong.
You see, but you see that just explained, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
God damn. Zoro is trash. He has to have legendary swords to be on Sanji's level. Chill, new type.
Zoro is already on Sanji's level. If you take the overhype that people give the raid suit for Sanji, and then look at everything that Zoro has done without these two new swords, Sanji is just barely where Zoro is.
2 new swords. The nigga been carrying around Ryuma's sword for how many arcs now? Fuck you mean?
And he's been as strong as he is for how long? And people are just now putting Sanji on Zoro's level after the raid
people. And those people are retarded because them boys always been banging. I think Zoro been stronger, but they always been banging with each other. Like, for somebody to think that the raid suit is finally putting him on that level, they're fucking dumb. They've been on each other's level.
I think the raid suit puts him over Zoro for the time being.
Oh.
I mean, that's a solid, assumption. It's just that we haven't seen much of the raid suit. All thing I've seen the raid suit do was fodder out somebody. Fodder out somebody I think he could beat without the raid suit.
And that is the first time me and Sauce ever fully agreed on anything.
Are you talking about page 1?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Because page 1.
Making sure.
Page 1 and done?
He's done.
Yeah.
1 and done.
Let's see.
Yo, I hope he comes back. Real rap.
Sandy Lollipop said, as much as I love everything about Sanji, without the raid suit, he's not competing with Zoro.
He's not defeating who?
He's not competing with Zoro without the raid suit.
No, they are competing. What the fuck?
Okay, yeah, they're competing, but Zoro is
stronger.
I mean,
Yeah.
Zoro will win, but like it's not like Zoro just outclassed this man. That'd be dumb to even say. Like,
well, I mean, it would make sense though.
Yeah,
Why?
Like, no. Look.
Wait, why would Zoro be leaps and bounds stronger?
Well, because there are a couple reasons you would imagine. I mean, Sanji's time skip was basically useless for him.
Huh?
I mean, out of the Twilight trio, Sanji was actually
useless.
Sanji's training was mostly
Luffy
running.
had Rayleigh training him. Zoro had Mihawk, and then Sanji had someone who's the bit like people don't even think is even like strong, and he didn't even train him during the time skip. He was just running away from.
Sanji came back and flew.
He was running away from
the
people,
entire purpose of Sanji's entire skip was not focused on strength. It was, oh wow, I didn't know food could do this.
Yeah, he was running. He had some training because he had to fight people in order to get those recipes, but
well, man, if you look at it from just like what actually happened, I mean, there's really no comparison.
All I know is after the time skip, that nigga's kicking niggas in the face without them even realizing they've been kicked. That's all I'm saying.
He got faster.
He's done some pretty impressive
Yes, and that's his thing. It's fucking speed.
What about his?
And the nigga dodged a bullet. Well, jelly bean from a nigga that can see the future. Come on, bro. Y'all capping.
Are we just
the point is compared to the other two top fighters in the crew, Sanji's training was nowhere near what they were doing.
So,
I agree, and for him to be as
and
close,
you still see the results.
I agree.
So Zoro fights a bunch of baboons, and all of a sudden Zoro is just.
You do know it wasn't just baboons, and that was only the beginning of the training. That was what he had to do to prove to Mihawk that he's worthy to train.
But I feel like none of that matters.
All we've seen is Zoro fight a bunch of baboons. Like what?
But look, check this out. I feel like none of that matters.
Luffy did much, but Luffy got significantly stronger. And he had to fight animals.
Like literal one-on-one training. We saw that too.
But why does any of that matter when we see the end results of both of them?
What are the end results?
The end results are that like Zoro is slightly stronger, but they still close on the same level.
Slightly stronger?
How can you say that?
Yes.
Like,
how can I say that?
Zoro,
look, I'm gonna break it down.
Statue and Sanji was able to kick a dude that was barely that size.
All right, bro. Let me break it down. Let me break it down to you. This is how I see it. I think Zoro will win because he has like better power and durability. But you know what I'm saying, you gotta look at the fucking best qualities of both of them. Because Sanji is clearly faster than this nigga.
Not true.
Wait, what do you mean not true?
There's no evidence to support that.
Driz.
Yeah, y'all true.
Hold on.
Nigga, what? Bruh, it literally said that Sanji. Oh my god, bro.
In the SBS, Oda put everybody in a category in a foot race. He only said that
Zoro ran in the wrong direction and still.
Zoro came in the place that he did because he got lost in a fight.
Well, the reason I say there's no actual evidence is because what we saw in Wano so far invalidates Sanji's feat, which is not. I don't like that. But that's.
What you mean it invalidates his feat?
Sanji
whenever they went to Bakura Town, right, and Luffy and Zoro were there, they both did the exact same thing that Sanji did, casually.
To more people.
What are you talking about?
When they absolutely speed blitzed
everyone and they didn't know what happened.
Those
it's
are
the
fodder.
Exact same thing Sanji did. I don't like it. I would rather have Sanji be faster, but I'm saying is that this doesn't come down to me being biased about Sanji. This comes down to the fact that from a writer's perspective, Oda always clowns Sanji.
That didn't invalidate shit, though.
Dritz is right about that. Oda definitely does clown Sanji when he.
But it didn't invalidate his feet, though.
No, but it didn't invalidate it on its own anymore because now it's not comparable to something that other people don't have.
So if we're talking about short bursts, then yeah, I would say Zoro's comparable to Sanji. But I'm including reaction time with this.
Yeah, all that shit, bro.
You have to incorporate that. Sanji's reaction time.
Facts. Look, if Sanji would have been in the same situation that Zoro was in when he was on the bridge, when Killer came up and stabbed him, he would have weaved the shit out of that damn shit. When the nigga,
person. Hold up. Sanji did get hit by X Drake. Someone who's comparable in the
Sanji couldn't do anything, couldn't dodge him. And then in the same arc where Sanji speed blitzed Oven, he also got destroyed by Ewan.
And he got
Where's
hit
the consistency
by a
to make your argument?
And he got hit by a bullet that was fired by a fodder.
And while he was carrying people?
You're saying but like you're just ignoring everything we're saying.
I'm not ignoring it. I'm taking all that in.
I'm dumbfounded because you actually guys think that Zoro's faster than Sanji.
No, but the thing is, look.
The best
speed doesn't matter.
No. What does it got Sanji?
Speed, what does it got Sanji? My God, he dodges.
He's been the fastest in the crew since the jump. Why does it
matter? What does Luffy got to do with Sanji?
Yeah, well, like Sanji's not faster than Luffy.
And we're not talking about Luffy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's no evidence he's faster than Zoro. There's no evidence that Zoro's faster than Sanji.
Bro, y'all niggas is high.
No, I would say
if that's your only argument, Sauce, then there's nothing to continue talking about.
But I mean, you can shut the fuck up if you want to.
I just want to discuss it because I said there's an argument that there's more evidence of Sanji's reaction time being greater than Zoro's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what
we literally see them dodge a jelly bean from a nigga that can see the future.
Reaction time, you probably have a good case there.
But that's
reaction time has to do with speed.
No, hold on. Because you gotta understand, over short bursts, I would say Zoro's probably just as quick as Sanji. But if you incorporate reaction time and they have the same short burst speed, but Sanji has more reaction time, I would just say Sanji.
And better observation.
I would agree with that to a point if like other things so like we saw recently in a chapter that you know how Zoro got hit from behind or got hit while fighting what's his name? Killer, right?
Yeah. Killer.
And then like 4 chapters later when Zoro's on the bridge again, he blocks someone attacking from behind like faster.
Wait,
so there doesn't seem to be a consistent weakness that is displayed between Zoro's character for more than a chapter.
Okay.
No,
so it's actually really hard to say what Zoro is good at and what is not, and I don't even think Zoro's strong, so it's not like I'm winking Zoro.
Bro, you keep bringing up all these other feats that don't invalidate shit, though. Like, they still got those things.
I'm not making a conclusive argument. I'm saying there isn't enough evidence to make a conclusive argument. That's the point.
Yeah, it's more of a.
I just gave you the evidence.
You know.
Yes, and I invalidated it.
No, you didn't. You just said some feats that were slower.
I explained to you the situation, and you basically just said no, wah.
No, I said that if we got a feat that is fast, right, and you pull out some slower feats, how does it make that fast feat slower?
How is it slower?
Because you don't have to move the same speed every time.
Do you have a speedometer on you while you're reading the chapter?
Yep, I do.
Hey, Vergo, can we move on? Vergo, can we move on?
Nah, I'm not moving on because, like I said, it doesn't invalidate what I'm saying.
We're not getting anywhere.
It does not.
We're not.
But what I'm saying is,
if you got a feat that is like, let's say, that fast, and you got a feat that's slower, it doesn't mean that feat is like any less fast.
Okay. But I'll say this. I'll say this though. Hold up. I'll say this because pre-time skip, we saw Bartholomew Kuma moving between both Kizaru and Rayleigh with the quickness that only Rayleigh was able to perceive. Right? Only Rayleigh was able to perceive what Kuma did. But on Thriller Bark, Zoro moved so fast that he cut Kuma before Kuma could do anything. So there's an inconsistency there.
And that's a feat.
But there's things you gotta hold on. There's things you gotta take into account because you know that Kuma had completely switched his focus. Was he not going after Luffy at that point?
That doesn't negate the fact that Kuma.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't because he had the reaction marks, he had the exclamation points, so he knew Zoro got up. But he was not able to drop Luffy fast enough to react to Zoro using Shishi Sauce on him.
He went to pick up Luffy.
So think about,
he wasn't able to react to it.
So let me respond to that, right? So basically, Kuma was focusing on picking up Luffy at the time, and Zoro, with a quick burst of speed, cut Kuma. Okay, cool. And then in Safundi, when Kuma basically speed blitzed in between Kizaru and Rayleigh, that was Kuma's main focus. Not to mention,
you got a lot of wind, Durson.
Yeah, you got to.
Oh, my bad.
Very good. Not to mention, Kuma, I think he uses his devil fruit to actually repel himself to move at that type of speed, which would make sense. So I don't think he didn't have enough time to activate his devil fruit to, use that quick movements against Zoro. So I'm pretty sure that's why he got slashed. I mean, this is my guess. This is not anything like concrete, but that would be my guess for explanation for that.
But in that regard, we're using deductive reasoning.
My whole point to bring that up was to talk about what Dritz talked about, was that the inconsistencies between the depictions of characters at certain points in times. So there is no conclusive evidence to say who's faster or who's slower. Because Oda is inconsistent with showing the speeds of these characters.
Okay, well, I like that.
I agree with you, but in terms of actual evidence, it's actually impossible to say.
You know what? Speaking on that, like think about the inconsistency shit. That's cool. I understand that. So with that being inconsistent, that's still like those slower feats still does not invalidate the faster feats. You feel me? Like it does not.
It invalidates the argument, the basis behind what you're trying to say.
I don't think
you just contradicted essentially everything that you said, because you said that you acknowledge there are inconsistencies, but the fact that these inconsistencies exist, you think don't have anything to do with your argument.
I acknowledge that the inconsistencies exist, but that don't mean that I'm going to take one slower feat and subtract from the faster feat because of it.
No, I don't think you understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that there is no point in even reading into it because there are inconsistencies. So either feat doesn't matter. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Right.
Well, I disagree with that because I'm going to use the feats for the argument that it's saying. Like if I got 3 feats, I'm going to pick the best one.
Okay, so then by your logic, if you're just going by just feats and not like what the consistency of the manga shows, Sanji is then by proxy faster than all of the Yonko.
Cool. Have we seen the Yonko moves?
Yes.
We saw Kaido blitz.
You saw Big Mom. You saw Shanks arrive in the middle of an island before his ship even got there.
Nah, you can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen that move? Like, okay, so you got that. Boom. Okay.
But you see, that's funny, right? Okay, so let me give you an example. Right? I'm glad you brought up Kaido, right? So Kaido speed blitz Luffy, right? But during that entire time, Kaido's also getting beaten up by Luffy. Before that, and then all of a sudden, Kaido shows the speed that he has.
And also think about with the speed blitz, Luffy was moving towards him too.
Yo, not in here the entire time. It hasn't said a word.
So hold on. So in summation, because of the inconsistencies in some things, we can't scale some things. Is that what we were saying?
Yes.
Well, you can scale some things based upon your headcanon, but you can't determine whether or not it's fact yet.
But the thing is, it's not headcanon if it's the ink on the page.
Opinion that Sanji should logically be faster than Zoro, but the evidence doesn't dictate that to be the case.
Yep. I have a question. So say all right, this is a bit of a stretch here. Someone that we know is clearly stronger than another one, right? So say we have an admiral and we've got a vice admiral, correct? And then you can say that, hey, Luffy knocked this admiral out in one punch. He hit the vice admiral with the same punch, and the vice admiral didn't get knocked out. So would you say the vice admiral was more durable than the admiral?
Yes, if that's all we got.
It depends on the whole context of the fight, though.
If we just got those feats, then yes.
Can you repeat the question? My bad. I didn't get it to near the end.
So in this case, say Luffy knocks out an admiral with one punch, uses the exact same punch, nothing different, no terrain difference, nothing different, same amount of force.
Right.
Hits the vice admiral. Vice admiral does not fall. Is the vice admiral more durable than said admiral?
If those are the only feats, then yes. Yes.
Or yeah, I would say yes, but would we say inconclusive?
Oof.
I would say yes.
So I would say in regards to most of these things, it's a slippery slope. I would say even within the story with inconsistencies.
If that was all the information that we had,
because
that's what I'm saying.
If that was literally all the information that we had, then you would have to say yes. But because of everything that we have about the admirals and everything we know about the admirals compared to the vice admirals, No, you can't. You can't say that.
But yeah, because you would say that knowing that the admirals throughout this entire story have been stronger than vice admirals, you would say that's completely inconsistent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say in some situations, you can't say everything's completely unjustified in the way we're thinking because some of these inconsistencies.
Exactly.
You kind of have to just go with your gut feeling on some of these things and use deductive reasoning.
Yep.
And by deductive reasoning, Sanji is faster than that nigga
I knew
Zoro.
you were going. I should have known you were going to say that.
You're fucking high as balls if you believe otherwise.
Hey, yo, Vergo.
So
I'm about to head out.
Okay.
Well, I'm about to head out of the stream. I'm gonna talk to you later. Thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely.
about to play Monster Hunter. Take it easy. It's nice talking to y'all.
Have a great day.
All right, don't go say no white girls, man.
Nothing wrong with that. But moving on. But I wanted to say though that earlier point and how you saying that it was inconsistent with saying something. Oh hey, that Zoro and Luffy did the same thing that Sanji did. Now we know damn well that those guys don't hold a candle to oven.
I can't hear anything over someone sucking dick.
Oof. Big oof.
Nah, man, I was licking your mama's nipples. What the fuck I was doing?
What is wrong?
That's what
with
it
you,
sounds like, nigga. That's
Yeah, man, she got some long ass nipples, bro.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna pray for you, dog. Real rap. I'm gonna pray for you, dog. I'm gonna pray.
Sucking her nipple like a straw.
Nigga, what?
Her nipples like a door stopper.
I've had enough.
Please. I mean, if you want to come out his mouth and say some shit, hey, be prepared.
No. I don't care. Y'all are free to argue. I'm saying about enough of these visuals.
Anyway,
what was the point being brought up? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that I believe that those fodder that Luffy and Zoro were blitzing at enormous speeds can't hold a candle to oven, and it's more impressive what Sanji did.
Well, I mean, I think there are a few things you could say about it. In terms of portrayal, it's definitely more impressive, but if in terms of context, it's not.
I mean, does Oven even have observation Haki?
Oven got speed blitzed by Compoan looking at him and shooting a gun right at him.
Exactly. So come on, that's what I'm saying. The guy doesn't even have observation Haki.
Touche.
Like, come on, get out of here.
he got.
And then while he got hit, he was also fighting Pound at the same time.
At the same time.
So I mean, like, it's up to you to determine whether or not how much that matters, because in One Piece, it's not obvious. Oda likes to play the floor where there's always an excuse for something. So the conclusion you get is up to you.
That's fair.
That is fair.
There's also the example of Oven finding chiffon under that blanket. That was like you could argue that's observation.
You could argue it is in One Piece. Like the thing with One Piece and observation Haki is
that
it's normally a plot device more so than something that's like a constant power that needs to be thought of, because there's no determination between like what's the difference between reaction speed and just using observation Haki. They're kind of like, whatever at this point.
In most situations, there really isn't a difference.
There isn't, but I think the anime is doing a good job of showing us the difference.
They go hand in hand. It's like you can have a good ass reaction speed and not have good observation, but if you got good observation on top of your good reaction speed, then it's just better. You feel me? It's a fusion of both. Or you can have good observation without good reaction. Then, like, you can see the shit coming and you block instead of, like, dodge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
true.
All part of the same thing.
Hey, so, JD, though, I want to expound upon what you just said. The anime is doing a better job because we're seeing the clear difference between observation Haki and just his regular reaction speed. How Luffy is doing certain things like noticing the aura from the cursed sword. Or just him on the beach, clearly noticing them before they even arrive up to the scene. And I'm thankful that they're actually animating those things.
I really enjoy it, honestly, and I hope they keep doing it. I hope they're consistent with it at the bare minimum, you'd hope, but I don't think they're going to be that consistent.
I don't know. I mean, Oda's trying to become more consistent, especially with him leaving so much out of the story of where he can add little things like that. But obviously there's not going to be much he can make up for the past and his past fuck ups. But yeah, more context is needed in my opinion, for example. I mean, yeah, I could have been more contextual with that argument, but I was just trying to get to a quicker means to an end on that one.
Yo, Vergo, can I ask you a question?
The Sanji is faster.
It's related to what we discussed with the feats and everything. So we know that Katakuri, his observation Haki allows him to have, and plus his speed allows him to have really good reaction time.
Correct.
So, in terms of power,
and his devil fruit.
Yes, and the devil fruit. In terms of power, and I'm talking like straight up raw strength. Is Luffy stronger than Katakuri?
Yes.
Raw strength? Wait, it depends on what form. In Gear 4, there's no contact.
Yeah, exactly. In Gear 4, there's no form.
Exactly,
right?
Easily is because if he can hit the man, it's a wrap.
Base form, yeah. So base form, yes. So then, so I don't think raw strength was the right term.
Okay.
I guess in terms of just like overall physical strength, not like devil fruit attacks. I'm talking just straight up.
Like what, power level?
Yeah.
Luffy's got it.
Would you say Luffy has more of an attack power than Katakuri, but Katakuri is so difficult to beat simply because his defense, in this case, his observation Haki, his reaction speed, and everything like that?
It's hard to, I would say, Luffy has a better overall offensive capability because we've seen, or we get the impression during the Katakuri fight that Katakuri is lacking in terms of offensive capabilities, like actual damage.
That's what I'm
because
talking
about.
It's hard to say though because like during that fight, Oda went out of his way to make Luffy survive. So like in a neutral playing field where Luffy isn't the protagonist, I mean, like think about it for like the ending part of the Katakuri versus Luffy fight. Remember when Katakuri had like those giant spikes on his arm?
Yeah.
That like stuck Luffy to him and he swung him around and threw him in the air. Yeah. Those spikes were actually useless on that form because he didn't hit Luffy with them whatsoever. If Luffy like didn't coincidentally get stuck right in between them, it pierces his body and he's dead.
And you gotta think about for how long was the fight again? 10 hours? 11 hours?
11 hours.
Yeah. For I would say about 10 hours of that fight, Luffy was in base.
Correct.
Yeah, base gear second, like going back and forth in between.
Yeah. So and he only got about 30 minutes of gears like twice.
Yeah. So then I wanted to say that because then you look at Sanji, and I feel like Sanji has more of the fighting style of Katakuri in terms of observation, Haki, reaction speed, and I feel like Zoro is more in Luffy's realm of more attack power, and I feel like that's where
I would say that Luffy's actually everything,
and that's my argument.
Are but better at them than they are. Luffy is stronger than Zoro. He's faster than Sanji. Has better Haki in every single category than all of the Straw Hats.
Yes.
So it's like comparing a Yonko to their mates in a sense. Except Luffy is definitively better in every category.
Agreed. No.
And that's why I believe. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just saying that. So we do know he's strong in all the other categories. He's an MC. He's gonna be a Yonko. Okay, that's cool. But in terms of just like his specific speciality, it seems like attack.
Seatbelts off.
Attack power and durability is his like main speciality. You know, and there's, as you can see in One Piece, there's a lot of fighters that have different specialities. Some may not have a lot of attack power. Like I don't think Hawkins has a lot of attack power, but I think his devil fruit even the playing field to the point where he can do certain things that will just make him strong in general, and it has nothing to do with attack power.
I mean, JD, honestly, there are certain things that make people very, very powerful. Hawkins is his mind. And then when I think about how Hawkins uses his mind in conjunction with his devil fruit to make himself so powerful, it reminded me about back in Alabasta how Mr. 3 was a numbered agent, but he wasn't that strong. But Crocodile said it's only because of how smart you are.
Yeah. So this leads me to us thinking, okay, so since you just said that, I remember. So Mr. 3 makes 1,000% sense. Think about someone like Vegapunk who has. He can create anything basically at this point. Does that mean if we're taking in Vegapunk's mind and his science, would we have an argument of putting Vegapunk in the top tiers of just like?
Wait.
Well, JD.
Wait. Here's the thing. Like it's good. It's cool that he's fucking genius, but can he implement that?
Thank you, Soph. That was my next point.
That's the thing. See, that's the argument. I agree with you.
It's how you use it.
So then, okay, Judge, for example.
Yes, he is great.
He's a very strong fighter, but not attack power wise, but for the tools that he has in his arsenal.
Garuda style. Come on now.
I think he would be very strong, but I mean,
that's the Garuda, cuz.
Science can only take you that far, but in terms of like,
But
if you're
science can
power
take you
scaling
very
Judge,
far.
you'd have to put him up pretty high.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Judge is a fighter too, though. Like, he may not be as strong as these motherfuckers, but he be throwing hands now. Come on,
Because
that's my point.
But yeah, but JD, like I said, you got to use your mind in conjunction with what you have. Like Caesar used his mind in conjunction with the devil fruit and was able to not only once take down Luffy, but also make a weapon strong enough to take down a whole nation of warriors.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I bet you Inuarashi straight up is whooping the shit out of Caesar. But if Caesar said, "Hold on, poison gas," or "Let me take out the fucking air out the room," you got some trouble.
He's done. So then my whole point of this is just, I feel like I'm starting to realize the not uselessness, but like the futileness of like power scaling, just because it just seemed, I feel like One Piece is more centered around
So you get it now.
Bruh,
So you get it now.
That is the shit I've been saying
You
for
get it
so
now.
long. Like, I really come in BDA and be like, nigga, why y'all power scaling some shit where this bitch Sugar can turn a Yonko into
I go to that
fucking
every single
bear?
time. If Sugar touches Kaido, he turns into a giant fucking Megazord.
I mean, of course, it's entertaining, bro. What you mean? That's why you talk about it.
All right, got
Entertaining. What's up, Hemmings? You gotta say something? You been quiet all day.
You playing Fire Emblem, bro?
I have nothing to contribute. I don't care about this conversation. So just keep going.
Well, I heard you speak, so that's why I even mentioned you. Otherwise, I would have kept quiet.
How you doing, dog?
Bro, what you care about, bro? Put a topic out there. What's happening, bro?
How you feeling, dog?
Listen, man. I'm playing Fire Emblem. Don't worry about me.
I know it, dog.
I don't even remember what happened. I don't even really remember what happened in the chapter like that because I didn't even care about it. So,
hey, to be real, me either, bro. I just read the chapter.
I think Yukimari was the fox, and there's some flashback.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I sent Hemmings the link, and he goes, "Is this about One Piece?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he sighed. I'm like, "What?"
Hey man, but one thing that kind of
the last part,
I don't know how I feel
because I know everybody was like, "Oh, he wounded Kaido."
Hey, that's what I was just about to say.
I still didn't.
Go ahead.
I still didn't care.
My thing is like that whole shit right there. I don't know how I feel about it because it's just like, how do we beat Kaido? It's like, hey, here's the Kaido beating sword right here. You remember like in the Avengers movie, there was like, what kind of hammer gonna make? A Thanos killing hammer. Like that's the same shit. Like, is this how they gonna beat Kaido with kryptonite? You feel me?
But no, even there, it's still gonna come down to Zoro's Haki. That's what it's still gonna come.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, like,
my thing though is that if Zoro cuts Kaido without any form of advanced armament Haki training, then that means that Zoro was already strong enough to cut Kaido. Period.
Well, it's actually kind of harder to say that because what's easier, like punching something or slicing it?
I understand that, but
it's like impossible to compare the Haki that Zoro has compared to what Luffy, because Luffy actually does more work, whereas Zoro uses a weapon that basically does the work for him.
But the way that even Hyogoro explained it, and the way how we know what happened pre-time skip with Zoro, it comes down to the wielder. Just because you have strong Haki doesn't mean you can actually cut him. It comes down to the will of the samurai.
Oh, so plot armor, got it.
I mean, I'm telling you how.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
I'm telling you how Oda has explained it. So if Zoro cuts this dude, that means Zoro's Haki was strong enough to cut him.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. He gonna cut Kaido, right? And it ain't gonna work. And then he gonna take out his Zenkai Boost bandana, put it on, and then it's gonna work.
Oh goodness. That's not a good equivalence for your argument. Katakuri was holding back on Luffy.
And that fight was trash because of that.
Silver said, and the hammer didn't play a part in its ultimate defeat. Sauce needs to shut the fuck up. Damn, Silver.
Hey, how about you go suck some dick, bitch?
Damn. Mensa98 said, does anyone unironically think that Zoro could kill Kaido? All of you better say no.
No, I don't.
It's been a theory for
it would undermine Luffy.
Years. It would undermine Luffy, but it wouldn't surprise me because Oda. So he ranked Zoro.
He ranked Zoro, but
not to that extent.
Luffy way more.
Yeah, that boy, he be giving Luffy rounds.
Ew, nigga. Do you remember
when? Ew, but you know it's true.
Mid-Mac 44 said, remember when Cole legitimately believed Judge would be one of the top 5 strongest characters? He wasn't serious.
He gets a
pass. He is.
Yes, he is.
Top 5, nigga.
Bro,
that's Judge, nigga. The Garuda.
I'm listening.
He literally put Raid Suit Sanji in the same tier as Gear 4th Luffy. And
that's
his
ridiculous.
last power.
Whoa.
Yes.
I love the Raid Suits. Vince smokes them both for life, but come on, cuz.
He literally had him in the same tier as Gear 4th Luffy.
And who was this? Who was this?
That's Cole, King of Lightning.
King of Lightning?
Oh, man, King of Lightning. That's my guy, but sometimes he be tripping.
So it doesn't matter if he was holding back, he was still on a higher level than Luffy in every way. So again, if you think Jinbei would be a problem for Luffy, then he must be a problem for Katakuri.
Jinbei would be a problem until he went fucking Gear 4th, and then it's like...
I mean, probably not anymore. Luffy probably going in Gear 4th.
Hey, by this point, you're right, because fucking Luffy gets Zenkai boost more than Super Saiyan, like straight up, like...
I have another message for Sauce God.
Be strong.
Silver said, once you get mine out of your mouth, nigga.
Nigga, you gay.
Yeah, wait, Sauce, like, real talk, like, what is going on between you and Silver, bro? Like, y'all, what is going on?
No. I don't know why Silver was acting like this, like this something new. Me and Silver do this every time. I don't know. He seemed like he extra sensitive because I haven't consistently called him a coon within the last month. So it's kind of like a shock to him. Like, oh my God, this nigga back on this shit. I just ain't been here, Silver. Me and Silver do this all the time. It's all love. He's still my coon brother. But it is what it is.
Mensa 98 said that's because King hates Luffy.
I don't think King hates Luffy. I mean, I think he's coming to not like him as much. I don't know if he's a hate yet, though.
If anything, I think it's more of his love for Sanji.
No, I think it's actually more just like, and this is kind of that sentiment that's being populated throughout the fandom more, is that, the post time skip is less about the crew, which we spent the entirety of the series getting, and more about just Luffy.
Yeah.
And everything is always Luffy gets all the fights, Luffy gets all the pot. Like, none of the shots even do anything anymore. Like, Luffy's doing their job for them in Wano right now.
That is big fact.
With a sprinkle of Nami.
I
said with a sprinkle of Nami.
Yeah, like my thing is with Luffy, I don't dislike Luffy. I just dislike everything surrounding Luffy. Like shit just be falling into place so easily, bro. Like it's like you don't even feel you don't even feel that threat level no more.
Bro,
yeah, I think, and that's been the thing.
That I agree with. There's no suspense.
That's where it gets into that's where it gets into Naruto territory, to where stuff just happens because it has to happen, and it's like. If that were the case,
then they should have came out of the time skip. Shouldn't feel like this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if that were the case, then they should have came out of the time skip a lot stronger than what they came out of it. Because clearly they were not ready for the new world. Still,
probably not.
I mean, really, there's no difference between having the time skip and not having it at this point.
I mean, really, exactly.
The only one who is ready is Luffy.
I mean, the only difference we've seen is that with the other crews, why they shouldn't have went into the new world, especially Kid's crew. He's the biggest reason why you shouldn't have went into the new world without training. But even there,
then it's like
exactly he would have made up a plot excuse reason for Luffy not to lose.
The thing is, even then, it's like Kid went into the new world, and now like he's being portrayed to be on the same level as Luffy, and all he had to do was lose an arm to Shanks, and like the rest of his crew's fine.
Yeah, I honestly think there's no difference. It's even.
There isn't. It's the same.
Because the example I always use is, let's say we're both playing Tekken. And before I go online, I lab a lot. But you just go online, get your ass whooped over and over until you get nice. But I wait until my tech is clean, my spacing, zoning is nice, and then I go online. It was also the same.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. He's got the real experience by getting his ass whooped by some Yonko crews, and then he's here.
Yeah.
Well, and also it's because of this new people can only now get stronger because of Haki blooming stuff. It's like Kid got the better end of the deal.
That bullshit. that bullshit. We should have known something about it happened, man. I told y'all, man, Rayleigh flashback equal dub.
Pretty much at this point in the series.
Wait, what? This argument in the chat is I don't know if I understand it. We're only saying that you're saying just because Luffy beat Cat, if Jinbei has a chance of doing some damage to Luffy, he would have to be Katakuri level or relative to it.
No, that's not true. Because vibrations vibrations work on Luffy because Luffy's rubber. That's why the Rokugan that Lucci was using was so effective because it was vibrations. Fishmen use vibration by a byproduct of just being
moisture.
Moisture inside of you.
Fishman karate is the deadliest martial art in this whole bit.
So that's why. And then if you put Haki on top of that, of course it would be super effective against Luffy.
Sunday Lollipop said, what context is needed now? Luffy won, and if they fought again, Luffy would win. There is no context that doesn't say at the end Luffy and Katakuri weren't equal. I'm a bit lost.
Man, bro, look. Wait. Hey, say this out. Look.
The intent of the argument.
Hey, let me say this though, how I feel, because I think the Katakuri versus Luffy fight was trash because the dialogue and setup over it. Because like before the fight, this nigga Katakuri was like, "Oh, I have to take this man out before he becomes a problem," right? Mm-hmm. So he's feeling that way, like I got to beat this nigga ass. Then he goes in and plays with this nigga and realize that, for 10 hours, I can't put this man down and start using stronger shit. Like, I know it's a shonen trope that they use their strong shit at the end of the fight. But if that nigga Katakuri came in there and was like, nigga, I'm boxing your ass off top, I don't think Luffy would have got that dub off top. Like,
not at all.
And as we know, plot obviously had a big, huge
absolutely. And it's not debatable.
Gigantoid, boy.
Like,
I mean, Luffy hasn't won a fair fight since Caesar.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That is making me sick to that's so true.
That's big facts.
And now we're gonna get Kaido. It's gonna be like 1,000,000 v1.
Yeah. Luffy might not get a one-on-one
until Blackbeard, maybe. And even then.
Jinx, you want me your neck? Anyway, Silver said Luffy ran away and came back for 12 hours. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
Sun is they're clarifying it. Sun is saying that including Jinbei that Luffy could take down the that argument again.
Whoa, what? Including Jinbei do what now?
That Luffy could take down all the Straw Hats.
I agree.
I don't think so. I think he'd beat up.
Most of them are fodder. I don't understand why it's like such a bad thing to say.
Like, to be real, I'm not kind of including them the weak niggas.
Well, the same thing.
They immediately get one shot by Snake Man, so I get that.
I mean Chopper doesn't even have to go Snake Man against most of it.
Exactly, because
one hit.
Chopper's body was broken after a Gear 3rd elephant gone from Luffy. He couldn't do anything on Punk Hazard.
Hey, man, look.
Chopper's fodder.
I think between the Monster Trio and Jinbei, I think they put a fucking fight. Like,
I mean, they put a fight, but I mean, Luffy wins without. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I think they'll get him. Like, I really ain't got no basis behind that. This is not like the fucking How I Feel Sanji's faster than Zoro. I have nothing to say that they will win besides my own gut. I can't hold them niggas like that, bro. Like, I can't.
It's like it sounds disrespectful, doesn't it?
Sanji would fight harder simply because Robin and Nami are on the ship. He would fight harder, and Zoro has a spirit not to give up. So
and Luffy is the main protagonist. I mean, it's true.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to minus the plot shit. I can't see it.
For Sanji, it's part of his character. He gets stronger when he's fighting for a girl.
Yeah, but if you include everything with Luffy, if you change Luffy's attitude to make it that he's fighting to win, that usurps basically all of that.
Yeah, and goddamn, you gotta think about it that Zoro has fucking. I know Haki plays a part, but Zoro has swords, which is like almost a weakness to his devil fruit, whatever. And Jinbei can fucking bust his fucking ass just because of Fishman karate. So
see, I don't even know if I agree with that because Cracker was a swordsman and it didn't even matter.
Cracker was trash.
Cracker's a commander.
Because his last attack, he didn't even put Haki on the sword. He just jumped in.
I'm just saying.
Like, he didn't even clad the sword and like Haki. He jumped in, used a Haki-less attack, got sucked into the back, and got blasted out. Like,
okay, so first I want to give a quick shout out to young Fabio because he's the mod of the day, real fast. And second of all, I want to say thank you to the 60 people watching. And third of all, I want to say something interesting that Demi3 just said. Gear 2 is going to end Sanji in a couple hits. Huh?
Nah. Come on,
Gear
bro.
2 would end him, but
you can't hold these niggas.
Like, this
it's hurting my heart because like, you really can't argue against it because Luffy is a motherfucker, but it's just like I don't want to hold them niggas like that.
Just so bogus. Like,
I mean,
it's Gear second. Like, come on, dude.
Nah.
I mean, Gear second wins.
Nah.
Dritz, no, stop.
No, why not? Like, seriously, what does Sanji have in his entire fighting pool that Luffy can't do right now without even entering Gear second? And if he enters Gear second, it's the same thing Sanji has. Luffy has future sight. He has tier 3 Haki at this point, the beginning of it. He's already super fast. He has better Haki, and he's as fast or faster than Sanji.
Shit.
I mean, what's really to debate there? Other than the fact that we don't like that the Straw Hats are where they are right now.
I might have to concede defeat on this one.
It's hurting my heart.
It's hurting my heart too.
Because there's really nothing you can say.
You really can't say. And if he gets hit with a Gear 3rd attack, then good golly, Miss Molly.
Nigga, if that nigga go Snake Man like you said, oh my God, I hate it for my niggas.
This is fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
I legit don't have a retort.
Jinbei is cool, but Jinbei's too slow. That's my nigga, but it ain't. He just gonna have to stand there and block.
Yeah, he just gotta be a tank.
Yeah, he's gonna have to stand there and take it. I'm like, that's my nigga, but he's just gonna take it. Like Mia Khalifa, just take it.
That's disgusting. But like how strong do? Wait, what? Madara said, "Invite me back, please." Oh God. Yeah, I don't know, like shit, cause like, would you say a cognac was similar to a Gear 4th attack or weaker?
Gear 4th is like one of the most physically impressive things that
I would say cognac was a bit weaker. I said a bit weaker.
I mean, Gear 4th knocks people across cities. No one's done that in the Straw Hats yet. Like, just one Kong gun. I mean, one Kong gun on Katakuri who was blocking the attack knocked him across, like, the entirety of the Mirror World.
So, you see, my thing with the whole cognac thing, like, we seen her previously, like, we led to believe that she was getting weaker when she was, like, hungry or whatever. But we seen previously where she did, like, that fucking, what was that fucking Elbaf spear shit? See, like, how powerful that was, right? And, like, when the cognac hits Jinbei, like, Jinbei stops it. So, like, we don't get to see, like, what type of devastation it would be, because, you know, he absorbed that shit, like, ugh. And so, we really can't gauge how strong that follow-through was, you know? I don't know, man. Okay. But y'all forget that. So like whenever I'm arguing for Jinbei, y'all don't remember I just said that. So
no, that's not true. But Jinbei, I mean, you don't. So that whole Gear 2nd argument, you don't think that could be used against Jinbei, do you?
Nah, he'll eat those.
Okay. Because I don't know. It's just it sounds disrespectful to say, but at the same time, there's no real retort against it for any of the Straw Hat members.
Yeah.
And that's why they're only saving
It's
grace.
not even that crazy when you take in that most Yonkos are leagues and head shoulders above their second guy.
Yeah.
So he could be trying to make that discrepancy a reality. I was thinking he wasn't going to do that, but I mean, it's possible.
As a matter of fact, now that you put that in perspective, that's exactly what it is. I mean, we're just not talking about how post-time skip is the Luffy show. So, like, he definitely is, like mirroring the way the other Yonko crews are. Like we don't know what Shanks' crew is like, but like all the Yonko crews we've seen, like the Yonkos are far superior than they niggas.
Exactly.
So,
Whitebeard was leagues above
Marco, like everybody, nigga.
Vista, like he was.
What the fuck were they gonna do to that nigga, bro?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and that's why the only saving grace might be for them to jump Luffy.
Yeah, they're gonna have to jump him, but even still, like, what are they gonna do? Because Robin is useless. Her clutch shit ain't gonna do nothing because he's rubber.
I mean,
maybe if they had a group meeting and have Usopp give us some prep time, they beat him.
Not even there.
I really want Robin to do something.
Usopp's endurance is more impressive. It doesn't matter if he gets hit with a red hawk. He gets knocked the fuck out.
Somebody help me. She just.
What's up? Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, he's playing Fire Emblem.
I know. No, I think he was talking about Robin. That's his girl. That's his boo.
I mean, they would definitely catch Luffy off guard the first time, but once he gets used to her trying to grab his arm or his legs, and it's a done deal.
Hey, that's why they got to get him quick, boy. They got to have fucking Brook freeze his ass real quick and tie him down. The y'all just got to all out fucking,
Mid-map 44 said Sanji is incapable of putting a serious Luffy down. Whole Cake Island, Sanji could knock out a starving beaten Luffy.
He's got a point.
With Diable Jambe from Skypiea.
Dang, that's trash, man.
That's so fucked up.
Dang. That's trash. And Sanji did say that he used everything against Luffy.
Like, I'm not trying to disrespect Sanji, but Luffy Water 7 with Gear 2, Gear 3 is high diffing current Sanji. Oh my god.
Okay.
High diffing.
No.
You tripping. Yeah, you tripping.
That's not factually correct.
You tripping.
Chris, I'm not the one that said that. That was young Fabio.
You tripping. Yeah, boy, you tripping, bro. You high.
You high, bro. Stop. Nah.
Yeah, man, stop smoking that meth, bro. Like,
he didn't even have Haki. Like, stop it.
Yeah, bro, you tripping. The fuck? Boy, Sanji will weave the hell out of this fucking galaxy.
Oh, wow. So, Roroni said, because I would say that they wouldn't even let Luffy get to Snake Man, in my opinion, but that's kind of baseless.
What are they? I mean, exactly. At least he acknowledged it. I was going to say. He knows.
For your reasoning, are you taking this in the sense that this is an actual battle, or are they letting each other go full power in a way?
If this was an act,
I feel like it doesn't matter whether they let him or not.
How they gonna stop him?
How are they going to stop him? One, he can see the fucking future, so if they try to stop him, what does it matter?
Hey, nigga, I forgot he got future sight now. Hold up. I forgot all about that. It's a wash.
Luffy has future sight. More than half of the sharks do not even have Haki.
Haki, exactly.
So they're going to do stuff that's going to hurt Luffy. Like, they'll do some team stuff, but, like, even working as a team, Luffy's endurance is, like, Whitebeard level at this point.
Basically. Especially after his last fight.
I mean, the functionality of his durability is better than Whitebeard's, because Whitebeard was an endurance tank and he really couldn't block damage. Like, he was taking those sword hits, but he just tanked through it. Now Luffy, like, shit bouncing off of him too, and he got endurance,
and they can't touch him.
Yeah, so it's. That nigga Mayweather out here, bro.
One-Eye Zoro said, "Oh, welcome, One-Eye Zoro. I haven't seen you here before. Do you think somewhere in the future Luffy will have a moment like Zoro and Punk Hazard, confronting the crew / forcing them to get stronger because Luffy won't always be there?"
I think that will require Luffy to be mature. I think
it's past that.
Yeah. Go ahead. I honestly see, depending on how Wano ends, if Zoro does have a hand in beating Kaido, then he's definitely doing the Roger and Rayleigh all over again with Luffy and Zoro. Definitely doing it.
Yeah, the issue I have with that is that I think that should have already been the case, and that a lot of these arcs that we got leading up to this should have been points of making sure that the Sharks
I think it's past
was
the point.
ready instead of Luffy.
I would
Because
agree with
let's say
that.
after this arc,
go on.
Zoro's first commander level max, right?
Yeah.
It's completely unearned.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Drix, because he got trained by Mihawk.
Hey, Virgo, I'm out, bro.
Like,
all right, Dustin, man. Thank you for coming through.
Okay, we know that Mihawk has the ability, is basically clairvoyance, right? He sees through every attack, right? According to his Viva card. So Zoro learned from that guy. We simply have not been able to see.
Yeah, and Zoro learning from that guy didn't even know what black blades were.
Well, because he probably didn't get that far.
And his observation Haki is subpar.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that, but again, his observation Haki is subpar, yes, and he has barely any full knowledge on black blades. But again,
this argument of, well, maybe Zoro just came out at the time skip already commander level when Luffy, who trained with Rayleigh, wasn't.
I mean, again, I put that blame on Oda, the author.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because he hasn't shown Zoro in that light. If Zoro does go against King and beats
Zoro,
King,
commander level Zoro is getting one shot by Killer getting a hidden. Okay.
I mean, well, again, even though we highlighted the inconsistency earlier in this stream, he gets hit by Killer, but when Kawamata
well, that's what I'm saying. If this ends up being the case, dude, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Zoro's so strong now," but it's not gonna make sense.
Yeah, and I agree, it won't. And I do put that blame just as you on Oda, because he could have shown us this. Why not have Zoro go to Whole Cake Island then? And why not have Zoro take out?
Why not have Sanji and Zoro actually fight people? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because with them having to be the top strongest, I mean, again, when you look at these other Yonko crews, their guys underneath the Yonkos are beasts. These guys are strong, and they're not pushovers. And to think that if we deal with the Yonko first, and then the Marine Admirals next, after going through this Yonko saga, that's going to be even more of a Deus. It's going to be even more. I was about to stutter. It's going to be even more out of left field because
I was about to stutter.
I was. That's why I didn't say it. It's going to be even more out of left field if they do compete with the Admirals. Because it's going to be how.
There would be no build to it. It would be like Zoro went from what? He went from fighting Hyozo and Fishman Island to fighting Pikachu on first commander level. And it would completely
you definitely just read that guy's comment because I was going to too.
Just start Luffy and Zoro out stronger than they were. Why did Luffy have to go through this growing process? Zoro's just gonna cheat his way there.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on, pause, time out. Why you say it like that?
Wait,
oh, welcome back, Servers.
What's up, Servers?
The ceiling.
I hate this guy.
This nigga here. Saying like what? Like, what do you mean saying like?
No, I'm talking to Driz.
No, Driz said it in a funny way. I know
about.
Oh, he's talking about Zoro. He's like, oh, I'm already first commander.
It's like he went from fighting. He went from fighting Hyozo to Pika to I'm commander.
Here's the thing,
I'm commander.
What I don't want is I don't know how Oda's gonna handle this, so I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But if it ends up in the worst case scenario, I think even Zoro fans should be just pissed off. Because it's the laziest way. It's saying Zoro's that close to he's getting closer and closer to Mihawk without even doing anything.
Driz, I don't think you know Zoro fans very well. Zoro could currently be stronger than Luffy, and they would love it.
Listen, there are Zoro stands and then there are Zoro fans. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Quietly Loud would.
I used to be a hardcore Zoro fan.
If Zoro fought Kaido and beat him himself, Quietly Loud would say this was the greatest series of all time.
He would.
You know that's true.
Yeah, he would. Because he already said the manga should be renamed to Three Swords.
You remember during the time, the motivation for the shots during the time sequence was to get stronger. Usopp at the end of Thriller Bark, they saw Luffy killing himself, and they're like, we can't let this keep happening. Luffy keeps doing all this stuff for us. We need to get stronger. Yeah. And then during the time skip, they're all like, we're going to get stronger. And then in the post-time skip, Luffy is doing the exact same thing he's been doing the entirety of the story.
Having to get his ass whooped for everybody and sleeping for 3 days.
Can take care of themselves.
Not the majority.
They can take care of themselves because they're not even in the plot.
Yeah, no, not the majority. The only two that can take care of themselves outside of Luffy is Zoro and Sanji.
Well, no, because remember, pre-time skip, a room full of fodder, full of nobodies, Usopp would have ran or gotten his ass beaten. Punk Hazard, he destroyed an entire room of people.
Yeah, Punk Hazard, whenever he saw people that weren't fodder, he ran away.
I don't know. He took down both
I'm just saying that he can take care of himself. Like, Lolo.
It's debatable because even on Zoe, Nami and Chopper got grabbed up by Vito and them, and they couldn't.
And then Chopper lost the trees in a 1v1 match.
He lost the trees when he went Monster Point.
He hasn't had a one-on-one since Arlong Park.
Okay, can we like not disprove Silvers? I want to feel good about myself.
I'm just saying, things to consider.
Why y'all just kill my shit like that? Like, goddamn.
He got just shattered my whole world. Trees bodied Chopper. I mean, come on. And it wasn't even Adam or...
I mean, but at the same time, Chopper was no different Fishman.
Chopper those were legendary fishmen, I'll tell you what.
They were trash fishmen. They weren't even
fishmen
named
nonetheless.
They weren't even named fishmen
on drugs.
Fishmen nonetheless, though.
It wasn't Fish and Tiger.
He was beating fishmen.
You know who will be Fish and Tiger?
Silvers.
I don't even think Chopper would beat Arlong at this point.
Silvers. He beat Fishman with a coke addiction, and Madara, I'm gonna kick you.
Bro, I'm saying, bro, like, do you honestly think he would beat Arlong?
What the fuck is Arlong doing to Monster Point?
The difference between power scaling pre-time skip, post-time skip was literally a light and day.
I don't think he'd be.
I cannot believe you think that Arlong could do anything to Monster Point.
My opinion on the East Blue villains is I feel like they suffer from the Zabuza effect. They were just used way too early in the series, and they're actually a lot more threatening than they were shown.
Well, I completely disagree.
Yeah. I mean, I agree to an extent because I think the power skill. Imagine this, right? Luffy post time skip can one-shot pacifistas without like basically doing anything, and the entire one pacifista took the entire Straw Hat crew to just barely defeat.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I'm putting them like in the new world. Well, all right, Don Krieg, if he would have made it into the Grand Line and didn't have the shittiest luck to the point where even the devil was looking at him like, "Damn nigga, you good?" I feel like he would have gotten pretty far in the Grand Line. Hell, he may have even made it to the New World and then realized he done fucked up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Don Krieg, I feel like he could have done something, and I feel like he could have made a name for himself.
If he didn't run into Crocodile, yeah.
If
he would have got washed by Bellamy.
He got caught in a massive storm that he couldn't handle. And then he ran into the one nigga that nobody wants to run into.
He shouldn't have woke him up.
Woke him. First off, that was just an assumption made by Zeph on why he chased him that far. He ran.
No, I thought Hawkeye literally said, "You disturbed me from my rest."
No, that was Zeph. He said, "Yeah, you probably disturbed his nap or something, and that's why he fucked all y'all up."
Bro.
First off, what could Don Krieg and his men could they really be screaming that loud that they yell over a massive storm that Mihawk was napping in? Like, if the storm didn't wake you up,
by One Piece standards, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
Again, why y'all kill my shit like that? Because Usopp is screaming louder than most motherfuckers. Yo, Brock was in the chat. It was good. I got Krieg over Bellamy. Thank you, Brago.
Y'all wildin'.
Krieg over Bellamy?
I got Krieg over Bellamy. I don't think Bellamy is breaking that armor.
Bellamy is trash. Bellamy is trash. He got one shot.
Lord Bellamy?
Bellamy, I don't think Bellamy and Jai is beating Krieg. I don't think he could break that armor.
No, he couldn't. He's weak.
I mean, that's actually an interesting matchup.
I don't know how to go. But to say that Arlong is doing anything to Chopper, you should leave.
Bro, Chopper's trash.
I mean, Chopper is trash, but...
I said it. I said what I said.
If Chopper is trash, Carrot is absolute garbage. Hot garbage.
Carrot didn't get beat up by trees, Silvers.
Carrot's got more going for than Chopper at this point, Silvers.
But she got caught and held over a boiling pot of water.
At least by a named character, Silvers. Brule.
That was a transformed Carrot. Carrot was up in the attic.
Meh.
At least it was a big mom child. At least it was a big mom child and not homies, bro.
I mean, she one-shot like all of those fodder people, so I mean...
Exactly.
Chopper got defeated by the underlings of those fighter people.
But he got defeated. He got defeated
Chopper
by the
was
likes
no
of
different
Randolph.
fishman.
Chopper
He
lost
got
to
defeated
Randolph.
by the likes of Randolph. Silvers.
Randolph.
Did
Randolph
he really?
beat him.
No.
I'm saying it's equivalent
Dritz,
because they
I'm
were
trolling.
homies. They were homies that beat Monster
I mean,
Point
Carrot
Chopper.
even made
I mean,
Zoro
wait, no.
rip his
It's
skull.
not
Literally,
it's
Carrot
not
has
equivalent
everything
because
over Chopper.
Don't read
Randolph
what Brago's
destroyed an
putting.
entire kingdom.
But they were fighter. I mean, come on.
There's no debate
Okay,
There's no debate. They were indigenous
like I
people.
said, Chopper was taking out fishmen. Whether they were fodder or not, they're already. What was the numbers that they gave? Like 10 times
Silvers.
stronger than a normal
Okay, so
person.
they
Silvers,
gave those numbers, but how does that even matter?
I'm gonna ask you this. Do you think those fishermen are getting beat up by trees in Whole Cake Island?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
All right, guys. I know it's way off topic, but I have another question that's been posed. Or not question, but he made a very bold statement. I hate how people think Crocodile and Enel are near or at commander level. It's ridiculous.
Well, they're not. So
Why would they not
The
be?
argument can be
They're
made
not.
for Enel. Crocodile,
You can make the argument for both now, not in the past. You can make now though.
I feel like
if they come into the new world, yeah, but not pre-time skip. No.
people put a lot of
Why?
a lot on Crocodile.
Well, I could see why he's
really a
Crocodile. I
character.
mean, Enel was supposed to have like a 500 million bounty, which is like, it's still less than every single commander in the series.
Well, doesn't that match Aces?
But Crocodile
Yeah, Ace is
supposedly had an awakened devil
Bro.
fruit. So
Do you really think pre-time skip Luffy can do anything to Marco?
No.
Thank you.
Um,
And this guy beat Inaru. Stop it.
yeah, but
Stop it.
he didn't actually beat him.
It was really just
Stop.
a super hard counter. And even still in that fight, a lot of it didn't make
Luffy's
sense.
literally
Luffy-
made of rubber, dude.
And Luffy still almost lost the
I
fight
don't
anyway.
care. The guy
The
had
thing that
Haki.
made no
Madara.
sense to me.
You're
He's
serious
had
thing that
right
made
now.
no
observation
sense to
Haki
me
and still
is-
lost.
The thing that made no sense to me is that Luffy was affected by the heat the electricity gave off when it was on the spear, but he wasn't affected by the direct heat from 2 million volts. That's what didn't make sense to me.
Because it was
I mean,
funneled
at this
through an
point,
item.
Crocodile and Enel are more than likely commander level, I think.
Yeah, at this point, yes. And if they come to the new world, I think automatically.
You know, a lot of the differences between the pre-time skip, you can actually make an argument that this is just the difference between Oda's power scaling and the
If
pre and
anyone got
post,
the
and that
Zabuza,
you have
it
to
was
scale. It's
definitely
like
Crocodile.
adjusting for
And
inflation.
Enel, even.
What's that?
I said if anyone got the whole Zabuza effect, it was definitely those two.
I mean, I mean, that's what happens when you're the earlier villains in the series.
Exactly.
I agree.
Zabuza was underused.
Sancho said Vista is not beating Enel. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that might be facts.
Depends if he can get close. I think he would.
I mean, we don't know how strong Enel is.
Brago said if Enel was on the Straw Hat crew, would he be second strongest right now? He said, I think so. Ooh.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. He would be.
He
Yeah,
would also
probably,
be
yeah.
way more useful.
Exactly.
He has island and like island plus
Island.
level observation hockey, man.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
he
in
can go at the
conjunction-
speed
in
of
conjunction with his
lightning to
devil
places and transport. I mean, I know like the utility of him on the crew would be insane.
He'd be super duper useful.
Yeah.
Franky would have more cola because Enel would just supercharge all of the machinery.
What?
I mean, Franky wouldn't have to rely
Why
on
is that the
cola.
first thing you thought of, dude?
Because I like Pepsi. And
Fair enough.
the way Franky uses it to propel, to like blast the ship away, I feel like that's a big waste. You know how much Pepsi you just wasted doing that?
It's a fact.
I mean, unless you're getting shot at. I mean,
Super.
then fuck that Pepsi. Oh,
With Luke-
Dritz, while I got you here, I could say this to you in person instead of you reading it through a comment. Bruh, drag down Ruby for me, please. Please. I
Ruby?
respect your opinion more than other like YouTube channels who bash Ruby for the sake of bashing Ruby. You've never seen it. You're not in the community. You don't. You just heard things. Please give the first season a chance and drag it down.
Is Ruby only like a show, or does it have like a manga webtoon version?
No, the manga is the literal statement is it's canon until it's not.
What?
Yeah, that's the literal statement. It's canon until it's not. It's better to just watch the show. The choreography is beautiful in Ruby. It's just that once Monty, the creator and lead animator, died, the budget went up, but the story went down. And it's very noticeable, like literally between seasons.
Also, Sunday Lollipop. No one says this about other pre-time skip villains. I would say the exact same thing about Crocodile. If Crocodile was on the ship.
If Arlong was on the ship.
not about Arlong. Arlong's like a.
Arlong.
I'm just going.
Hey, he'd be stronger than Chopper.
I mean, yeah,
bro, moderate.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna kick you. You know that's not true. You just don't like Chopper. I hate Chopper and I can't
died and then resurrected himself, and it was pretty good.
For real? Is it
I don't hate him.
I mean, Anel could actually just like die and pump his heart back up.
Yeah, he has one of the most broken devil fruits in the entire series.
That leads me to peg the question of how long does it take for a devil fruit power to leave the body after it's dead?
I don't think we'll be.
Well, no, because the brain stays alive for like 6 minutes. According to the Freddy Krueger movie, the brain stays active
this
for
is
6
absolute
minutes.
heresy. I bet you Brooke is stronger than Anel. Why are we putting him on command level with no evidence?
Wait, who said that?
Brooke on Anel's level? That's the better question. Even without Anel getting stronger in the post-time skip, he's stronger than Brooke.
I agree.
Easily.
I mean, the only thing he can't do to Brooke is shock him, but he can still stab him up with his spear. I mean, Brooke was getting absolutely destroyed by Yuma.
Like, most of the pre-time skip villains are stronger than the Straw Hats currently are now. And that's without scaling them up.
Yeah.
Oh, you said pre-time skip villains. I'm still thinking
Crocodile stronger than most of the Straw Hats right now without any Haki. Yeah. Most of them don't have Haki, dude. That's absolute heresy. Where does Brooke come from? What's Brooke done? Brooke lost his 1v1 fight in Thriller Bark.
Thank you.
I mean, Sanji lost his one-on-one
One
fight.
Eye Zoro said swap Brooke and Luffy and Skypiea. Is Brooke losing? Absolutely.
Swap Brooke for Luffy and Skypiea. Who did Luffy fight in Skypiea? It was Wiper and L, right?
Yeah. He fought the snake, where he got swallowed.
He didn't really fight it, but...
No. He fought the fat dude along with...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was Sanji and stopped playing. That was a 3v1. So.
Sunday Lollipop said, the only reason you all say this about Crocodile and Anel is that you all like them a lot. None of you say that about any other pre-time skip villain or any strong villain.
There's no other pre-time skip villains
aren't as strong as Anel and Crocodile.
That actually beat Luffy straight up.
I mean, we already know
Luffy
we already know that Lucci is way stronger than he was.
Yeah, if Lucci's on the Luffy's stronger than both of them, in my opinion. And if he was on the ship, that'd be amazing.
Lucci's
he would be ridiculously strong.
I think people put way too much smoke on Crocodile. Like, they give Crocodile way too much like hype, and even I still believe that Crocodile is stronger than a lot.
You know what? I would say that Rob Lucci would beat the brakes off half the Straw Hats.
Easily.
Hold on, let me just double check. Who going arc by arc? Who were the pre-time skip main villains?
Okay, arc by arc, it was Alvida. Then it was Buggy,
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Then Buggy. Then it was
Kuro.
Alvida is on Buggy's crew now.
Then it was Kuro. After Kuro
then it was Krieg.
After Krieg, it was
Wapple?
Was it
Wapple?
No, Arlong. It was Arlong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Arlong.
Yeah. You're right.
And then they went to Drum Island.
No, Drum Island was after.
So then it was Baroque Works. Baroque Works.
That was after Little Garden, so it was Whiskey Peak next.
Whiskey Peak was next.
Baroque Works.
All of the bounty hunters and Zoro did them in alone, but technically,
the main villain of that arc was basically Zoro.
Yeah,
Zoro or Mr. Five and Miss Valentine.
Then we had Mr. 3.
And then technically it was like, I mean, the Giants were like enemies for a short period of time. Then they were friends, and then it was Mr. 3, and then like the painty girl.
Mr. 3, then Valentine came, and then Mr. 5 showed up again.
And then we have
Wapple.
Then we have Drum Island. Then we go to Alabasta.
Where you have
that's Crocodile. After that is Jaya with Bellamy. Then we go to Skypiea, Inaru.
And then it's the Davy back arc, so it's Silver. Foxy, whatever.
Foxy.
I was about to say,
Foxy and Aokiji on that island. Then we go to Water 7, which was Lucci.
Lucci in the squad.
And then Thriller Bark.
Moria.
And then
and Kuma.
Well, I guess through the bark is Moria and Kuma.
Yeah, and Kuma. Yeah. Saboti is Kizaru and his nephew.
Saboti was absolute hell. You could name tons of villains.
And then we basically know everything from there.
Exactly.
So.
Then,
and then, well, then we have Marineford. You have Magellan.
No, it's Amazon Lily.
Impel.
It's Amazon Lily. Then it's Impel down. Then Marineford.
And Magellan. Oh my God, Magellan.
So basically, it just
Magellan might still be stronger than Luffy for all
once you get to Water 7.
Santos said Magellan's not beating Zoro.
Most of those villains, Anel and Crocodile and Lucci, are obviously.
Santos says Anel beats Magellan. I don't know.
What, currently or back then?
Back then.
I don't know how that interaction would work. Magellan washed Blackbeard's crew.
He did. And
Vergo said no Masura and Shoujo love. Fuck those singing apes.
I mean, were they enemies?
Not really.
Well, they were like a little while.
They were really enemies. They were just kind of like dudes they met.
They were like kind of trolling.
Like it was an encounter.
Is Boa Hancock beating most of the Straw Hats? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, she has Haki, so I mean that's like automatically.
All three.
Moria and Lucci would stomp out Anel and Crocodile.
I mean, Moria. I could see the argument being made for Moria winning against Crocodile. Although it depends. Like Moria was like washed up. I don't know. Luffy needed gear second, but that's like the power scaling. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
Vergo seen him say that Zoro's beating Magellan.
Fight, I don't know.
How was Zoro beating Magellan, dude?
Zoro was not beating Magellan.
Not pre-time skip.
Not now.
Not now.
It depends.
No, it doesn't.
It's Oda. It depends. It's Oda. It depends.
Oh my
God. You can say about the pre-time.
You can say depends for everything. I could say Usopp gets away from Magellan because it depends.
No, it doesn't. No, you can't. Usopp would not get away from Magellan based on his track record. Usopp always gets bodied.
What's Zoro's track record? He didn't get away from the fucking Yeti Cool Brothers. How the fuck is he getting away from Magellan?
The whole crew didn't get away except for Luffy.
Okay. Luffy didn't get away from Magellan. Now what?
Yeah, he did. He did get away. He literally escaped the island.
The second time.
Escaped the prison. So he got away. The point still stands.
You guys
Boa is raping Crocodile. I don't know about that. They would not be affected by her charms, and I don't know if Boa is stronger than them, honestly.
Rape? No.
I
would like to believe that she beats Crocodile.
I mean, if Crocodile are commander level, that's like the highest point for Boa right now is like commander level, right? So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't get how you guys scale these guys up so hard because they were never supposed to be as low as you guys think they are.
Well, if that's the case, then why did every single member of CP9, most of them don't matter, why did they learn Haki, get stronger, and join CP0?
Yeah.
Scale that for the people who do matter.
Wah, wah, wah.
So, I was the exact same mindset as you, Vergo, until I learned that people who don't matter are getting power-ups that the Straw Hats don't even have.
It's crazy.
So,
how do you poison lightning, though?
I mean, the only thing is touch them.
Poison. Okay, Enel can turn to lightning, but he is still a person. Just throwing that out there.
And his greatest observation was Luffy was able to punch a wall unknowingly and somehow still hit this man.
Enel's observation Haki was more reading a person's intent. So if you intended to punch him in the gut, he'll know. But if you intend to punch a wall and just not give a fuck where the punches land, that's how I justified it.
That's like saying because the Straw Hats had a time scale. That's like saying that Robin now could beat Croc. That doesn't make any sense.
True. Robin got that work from Crocodile.
Is somebody running a sweatshop? I hear little kids.
Oh my God!
That's my nephew in the background playing a video game. He just
playing Fortnite.
Nah, he playing Smash Bros. He getting whooped.
I apologize for my outburst.
If Magellan used the same attack he used against Blackbeard on Zoro, he's dying. I agree. Y'all can make the excuse that Enel might survive because he can just turn to lightning. What the fuck is Zoro gonna do? Like, seriously.
I mean, Zoro's basically in the same spot Luffy was at.
I agree.
Magellan.
Basically, take damage and hope that he can outlast.
Wait, it's wild to assume that Magellan beats Zoro? What?
How? How are we wild?
That's disrespect. Magellan is disrespected a lot, dude.
Everybody keeps on saying like, "Oh my God, but Luffy floored him." Do you see what Luffy had to do to floor him?
Dritz, if Zoro cuts Kaido, will Kaido go down your top 30 list? No, because that would be like saying Katakuri goes down because of how bad the fight was. He's still where he was. It's just that the quality of the fight goes down.
Bro,
It also depends on the context
Zoro
of how
is
Zoro
immortal,
cuts
so I
Kaido.
don't think he dies.
I can't judge it until I see it happen. So
it is true, son. There's just some characters, no matter how strong you actually believe they are, that have double fruits that are just ridiculously deadly.
the shots are too weak. How are they ever going to be Roger's crew? That's a thing. Roger's crew is literally broken. I don't know how they're going to be available.
You got guys that went up to become Yonko. You've got guys that are strong enough to fight with admirals at their old.
We got people outside of their monster trio and Odin who apparently hurt Kaido.
Exactly, who scarred Kaido. The only nigga who's ever scarred Kaido.
It makes me think about how strong was Crocus, because at 90 years old, he's taking missiles.
I mean, that's pretty crazy when you think about it.
And he's just Crocus is just the doctor.
I love taking the information that we have and looking back on those older arcs.
Oh man!
Like taking the information that we have on Roger's crew. How strong was Crocus? Looking at everything that we have for Mihawk now. Looking at everything that we have for Mihawk now, he could have done so much worse to Zoro at Baratie. So much worse.
Well, that's why he held back on him.
Yeah, I mean he did spare.
No, that wasn't holding. That was holding back. That was the difference between boxing somebody and then plucking your nephew.
Yeah, if Bullet becomes canon, then that's like
even more ridiculous.
And Bullet was supposedly as strong as Prime Rayleigh. So I mean,
and what did they say that Bullet has been training ever since and got stronger?
Yeah, in their old age, he's supposed to be stronger than Rayleigh.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
but during their prime,
he was stronger. He was just as strong as Rayleigh.
Yeah, it's Copper Gabbana. If you want to follow that whole obviously trio thing with gold, silver, copper.
Yeah, but like in Stampede, it's implied that Roger fodderized Bullet.
What? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Wait, did anybody here not read the spoilers?
I did, but I don't remember that part.
Spoilers.
Wait, hold on. Wait, go back. Oh, so everybody here read the spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Vergo, I need you to tell everybody.
Don't say anything about anything.
Yeah, it might as well not.
Vague.
Yeah, vague. Bullet's kind of scary.
Bullet is very scary.
The nigga's scary?
Bullet is very scary. And that's just like, and you think about Shanks was on that crew, Shanks became a Yonko.
Mm-hmm.
Buggy might not think much about Buggy, but Buggy became a warlord. Whatever. These guys all have amazing track records.
I mean, Buggy is still like in the East Blue. Buggy has like a terrifying. You mentioned his name, and he's kind of scary.
Yeah, Brago said, "Damn, bitches, stop spoiling." You read them too. Shut your ass up. This nigga made a whole Douglas Bullet video. Get the fuck off my dick.
He didn't make.
Wait, was it Brago or BDA Law?
It was BDA Law.
That's his cousin, bro.
How was Magellan taking?
Santos said, "How was Magellan taking 3,000 worlds?"
Well, why are you applying post-Tanska powers tailing the pre? I mean, you have to scale Magellan up too, because things would happen differently now in the post-Tanska fights.
No, Dritz, I've argued with people on Ora Jackson about that. The biggest argument, well, Magellan got demoted, so he got weaker.
But he stepped down voluntarily. That's like Garp stepping down from trying to be promoted to Admiral. Well, now he's what?
You think that Sengoku was much weaker after 2 years than he was before?
Well, I mean, it's more logical for Sengoku because I mean, like Sengoku at least has like the age effect kind of going on now, where like in the span of 2 years, from black hair
to 2 years, he went from pure black hair to full on cloud.
Yeah, I mean, there's like at least a reason to believe that for him.
I mean, you would think with less stress he wouldn't go great.
I mean, the only reason I would say you would imagine that Magellan isn't is that Magellan has like part of his body. He's kind of like Aokiji. After he got, beaten by Akainu, I mean, whenever he got ganked by Blackbeard, Shiryu, and the entirety of the crew, they fucked him up.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's still probably, like, ridiculously strong.
Brago said, Vergo, you got to see me at some point. I'll see you, man. Shit. What you going to do? I'll knock your ass out.
Vergo, what is this shit that you put on Twitter? It's Zoro and Sanji, but Sanji is a stove.
You like that?
I don't get it.
What don't you get? One's a cook, one's not.
That is hilarious. You asshole.
Talib Kweli said 60 watching, 29 likes. You know how it be.
That's how it is.
I got 30 likes on mine.
Normally age faster after you retire. 31. I mean, it's well. If you look at the presidents, Braga, the presidents aged significantly while they're in office.
I mean, look at Obama. After
Obama went
from
Obama
getting gray hair
G to old man, basically.
And that was only his first term. He walked in like a cheerful college student
that's
ready to take on the world.
So,
was Shiryu stronger than Blackbeard pre-time skip? No.
I mean, no
how
devil
strong
fruit.
was Blackbeard?
No devil fruit Blackbeard was enough for Shanks to go.
Well, like that's the thing. Like, what is the actual power level? Like, is it possible to scale that?
No, because that's when I take.
He beat Ace comfortably, and I thought Ace was second commander level.
I know, but
so
remember I told you to take these into account: intelligence as well as applying your devil fruit, because he can nullify other devil.
I mean, he did get fodderized by Whitebeard, but then that's a Yonko.
I mean, that's a Yonko.
Maybe he was first mate level, perhaps.
I mean, he gave Shanks a scar, so
he was like first mate level, but then once again, that big discrepancy from Yonko is the first mate.
But was Shiryu
the fact that Whitebeard was so strong that even without his devil fruit, that guy was nothing to him.
Magellan and Shiryu seem to be on equal terms. Yeah, I mean, they were portrayed to be equal. Shiryu was actually afraid of Magellan.
Brago said, well, look at Joe Paterno. He died right after he retired. Okay.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that, man.
That escalated quick. Well, he had all that stress because he got kicked out of the college. He got disowned by his college.
That escalated quick.
It did.
Well, you also kind of like quote unquote age faster because after like you don't have to keep up appearances anymore, so you're not like That's like people like after they retire from sports, like they balloon up. Like guys after they get married, they just turn into fat slobs. That whole thing, like they don't have to keep up appearances anymore, so they just like let loose. Like I got the girl, I don't have to care anymore.
Absolutely said Ace was fourth. Whatever.
I mean, I've seen people debate how strong Ace was. I personally think he was second commander level.
I would like to believe that Ace was second.
And
is
Prime Guard beating any of the current Yonkos? Huh.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
I mean, listen, you have to respect Garp to a certain degree. Even if we're missing some context, Garp has some of the best portrayal in the series.
Crazy.
I mean, you literally have to give the man his respect.
Took on the Rocks captain, made them disband, which apparently had big money.
We don't know the concept behind it, but like he's the one credited for that. So I mean, like he did at least did something. Fought Roger to death, like many times. People like even the Yonker, like Garp.
You see Garp, You see when Marco first appears in Marineford, everybody's wanking Marco. Oh, he's so cool. It's amazing.
And then
Garp just floors him.
My thing about people who like to discredit Garp, they say, "Oh, but he fought the Pirate King, but he's aged, he's older now, so he can't even beat Marco." How big do you think the age factor? How much power do you think
they say that about Garp, and they don't say that about Rayleigh? It's like crazy.
Yeah.
People are like, Rayleigh could beat Kizaru, and then it's like Garp. Yeah, Garp was gonna lose.
At Marineford, I think Akainu would have won that fight, and that's only because bloodlust makes you stupid.
I think I don't think people understand how amazing they are. So. The old trio, which I call them.
Yeah, old man trio.
Yeah, how good they were, and how good they really were at Marineford, even still by that time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like people gotta respect the old men, man. It's real.
It was the Rocks versus Garp, and Whitebeard and Roger teamed up. Oh, it's Tremoney. What up, Tremoney?
Wait.
Where did that come from?
Whitebeard and Garp teamed up.
It was the
someone young Pedro just said that. I have no idea.
Roger, where is the evidence? Wait, what? Would I miss something?
As far as we know, it was
don't know where that
Garp, and the only thing that you can give him is some more Marines, but Garp is majorly credited for that. You can argue that it was like the whole Big Mom situation with Luffy, and the only people present got some credit, but Luffy got most of the credit. But there's nothing to indicate that Garp had an alliance with Roger and Whitebeard against the Rocks Pirates.
Yeah,
who's stronger, Garp or Rayleigh? I think Garp's stronger.
I would give it to Garp.
I'd probably give it to Garp because Garp was fighting his.
He was fighting Rayleigh's captain, so
and they're both old men, and even if you take into account the old man factor,
I mean, Rayleigh has so much wink, but Garp even has more.
Ronnie said that Garp is the only top tier that doesn't have a devil fruit or sword. Oh, you add the or sword, so I couldn't say Rayleigh, huh?
Yeah, he's literally making a name for himself. They're just punching people in the face, dude.
That's pretty nuts.
hell,
Yeah, I love Garp, dude.
Absidy said Garp is 2 levels above Sengoku and huh?
Wait, what is what?
I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm wondering how many people Will has carried on through Mihawk. So, oh damn, he's probably killed quite a few people.
I mean, according to the Viva cards, he went around the world basically beating the shit out of people until no one was good enough. So,
and now he's still traveling looking for someone
who's
good enough.
People who believe that Mihawk didn't go to Wano.
I don't like that.
Silvers, but we're like 46, 7 chapters in. There hasn't been a single mention.
Yeah. I mean, but the focus.
But that's why
it doesn't make any sense from Mihawk's character.
The focus really isn't on like, oh hey, this guy came here and he was like, and like he beat all of us. It's really just focused on, yeah, we need to take out Kaido. The conversation will come up. I hope.
They're saying if it doesn't ever come up, that Mihawk being the strongest is a fallacy.
Because the only mention of outsiders that we've gotten so far is like Ace and
Moria.
Yeah, Ace,
or basically anyone that wants to get over there, because apparently
I mean like within Wano that people have brought up. The only outsiders that we've actually talked about was Ace, and yeah, you can say Moria because they said that someone came and stole Ryuma's body and his weapon. Like within the country, those are the only times that people have brought up outsiders, and that was kind of relevant to what was going on at the time. So by the time we get to like the country being opened up, they may reminisce on people who've actually come into Wano and left peacefully. I think Mihawk might be among those people. I hope he's among those people.
If this is like a swordsman thing, someone has to mention Mihawk, man.
If Mihawk isn't mentioned in this arc before it's over, I'm going to be very, very angry. Just as angry as I'm going to be if Tashigi is not a part of that Marine Force. This arc is about swords. Why the
Sunday Lollipop said, I think that Garp or Goku could have fought Whitebeard just like Akainu did.
Yeah, okay.
Garp, yeah.
I like that. I think they could have too at Marine Force.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sensational.
Fair enough.
It was said that it was Enma scarred Kaido, but it never necessarily said that Odin did it.
The sword belonged to Odin. They didn't mention it belonged to anybody else.
Really,
you have to assume.
Bitch and like Rayleigh scarred him.
Rayleigh scarred him.
It was never mentioned that anybody else had the sword, so you have to assume it was Odin.
So they're basically saying that the sword just got flung through the air and Kaido happened to be in the way and it hit him?
Like someone dropped it down a cliff and it just like...
Yeah.
No, somebody said that Mihawk borrowed it.
No.
Mihawk did it.
The argument that I never understood was it was Akainu who gave Kaido the scar because it was X-shaped, like Luffy's.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, at least in terms of like patterns.
It's a scar though. Like,
plus Kaido's lost to the Marines
multiple times.
Yeah.
So
and also, if anyone was going to break through Kaido's defense, it would be Akainu.
Exactly. It'd be Admiral.
Oh, I don't agree with this at all.
Again, why the fuck y'all? Yo, I'm leaving. Y'all niggas can eat like 5 dicks.
Wait, why?
Gotta kill my shit every time I bring something up.
Well, like, it was a sound, like it's like an okay idea. There's like not a lot of evidence that people are just like, well, maybe.
Silvers, we do this all the time and shut each other's shit down.
Exactly.
I've been having a bad week. Y'all can't just give me this.
Bro, I told Vergo Queen would one-shot Big Mom, and he said no.
What happened? I mean, Queen didn't one-shot Big Mom.
He one-shot Big Mom.
Big Mom turned around and looked at him.
Bro,
gave a whole sentence.
This man is a troll, bro.
Went to sleep.
She said my head hurts, and she went to sleep.
You're a troll.
Like, what else you want me to say? He one-shot her.
He didn't one-shot her. He was about to get fucked up, but on the way over there, she said she was hungry and she was kind of tired, right?
Bro, Madara, you also told me that Luffy was going to be queen while wearing sea stone cuffs.
Hey, man, it almost happened.
Oh, my God.
This boy Juice said this man Silver's getting shut down. Damn. Goddamn.
Dritz, what do you think about King's theory that Shanks was the world's strongest swordsman and Shanks lost the title because he lost his arm?
Nah.
I mean, there might be a reason to believe that.
There's a reason.
It's hard to say how credible it is, but I mean, in terms of just an idea, okay.
You remember the theories that Rayleigh was the world's strongest swordsman?
What's that?
Remember the theories that Rayleigh was the world's strongest swordsman because of the pattern inside his old cloak, and it's the same thing.
It's exactly the same as his. He used a sword. He's part of the Pirate King's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes it. In theory, it's like it's a good idea because the only weapon we've seen him use is a sword.
Yeah.
So I mean, an idea, it works. But in terms of Shanks being the world's strongest swordsman, I mean, the only way I would believe that is like following this line. It was where it's like, I don't know if he had the title. I think that maybe him and Mihawk were fighting for it. No one ever won. And whenever Shanks lost his arm, like Mihawk automatically got the title by default, and this made Mihawk mad.
Even still,
but like that's it would have to be something centered around Mihawk's character and like why Mihawk doesn't fuck with Shanks that much anymore. Like some type of bitterness, because like this is my idea, right? So, Mihawk, before meeting Zoro, was apathetic about life. He just walked around with no meaning or no purpose. He went from going around trying to fight people to not fighting them anymore. And even though Shanks is still Yonko level, he does not. He thinks it's a waste of time to fight Shanks, which is indicative of two things: one, either he's a better swordsman, or two, that there was some bad blood that happened between them. Because think about it like this: Mihawk focused his entire life on trying to become the world's strongest swordsman. And whenever he was fighting Shanks lost his arm by giving basically up his current potential to someone else. That's what the symbolic meaning of him and Luffy is that he gave up his potential. That's what the arm is. Shanks stopped believing in his ability to do something and then gave it to Mihawk, and they gave it to Luffy. If Mihawk saw this, because we know that Shanks told Mihawk stories about Luffy, maybe this like got Mihawk mad to some degree. It's like, whoa, okay, you stop believing in yourself, and now our rivalry, like, what the hell happened? Mm-hmm. We can't have a rivalry if you're doing this shit. And maybe Mihawk got mad and just fuck you, dude.
The way
and then whenever he met Zoro, he came to understand why Shanks did what he did, because he's basically doing a similar thing to Zoro.
It's true.
So
if Mihawk did have the world's strongest swordsman title and he was fighting Shanks, I think the only thing he was mad about is Shanks losing his arm. Like it's a lot less complicated and a lot less and a lot more bullshitty. But like, even because Shanks lost his arm, even though it was stated that Shanks lost nothing by losing that arm, for Mihawk, it's like if Mihawk does win, he doesn't feel like it's a fair win because this man's a cripple. But if he loses, then it's like, what the fuck?
Crap.
It's like he lost, and Mihawk wanting to fight Shanks as the world's strongest. Like, if Mihawk was still the world's strongest swordsman at that time, he loved the fact that Shanks was so strong and he was able to challenge him. And now that he's lost an arm, Mihawk's lost the he's lost the thrill of the fight. Like, it's like fighting a cripple gives no enjoyment. Even though
it could be or it could be Shanks' swordsmanship was actually affected by him losing an arm. So there was actually a definitive winner between them in terms of like fighting with swords.
Yeah.
And now Mihawk, once he's reached the top, he realizes that there's nothing else to work for.
Vergo.
Yeah.
This has been bugging me. Like every stream that you do, would you like me to make you some type of like on-screen banner or something? Because the unfitting Sanji versus Vergo thing that's kind of bugging me.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Oh no, it most definitely is.
Well, did I see Mihawk slander in the chat? This will not go. Mihawk never fought anyone from the records.
I like it very much.
Never fought anyone from Kaido. Never fought anyone from Big Mom. The world proclaims him as the world's strongest swordsman, so it ain't really facts. So then Roger's not the Pirate King.
Oh no.
By that definition, the world proclaimed him the Pirate King. He didn't. So he's not the Pirate King. The world just says so, right? Even though Otis says de facto there was no one above Mihawk, he's not the world's strongest swordsman, right? So, Mihawk sits at the pinnacle of all swordsmen, and it's like, nah, Vista, man. Vista would fuck him up.
One
out of here.
One Eye Zoro says, so does the Yonko title not mean must to top tiers?
What do you mean by that? Like, what's like the question behind that question?
AMG said, I'm going to make this video later, but I think Zoro's dad was Shimotsu's Ushimaru, and Shimotsuki Ryuma was Zoro's grandfather, and Shimotsuki Yasui was his uncle, and Koshiro is one of Ushimaru's retainer. And when
The
Kaido,
thing about the Shimotsuki thing, people making the connection saying he was related to Zoro. They're saying, oh, he looks a lot like Zoro. How can you say that when it was just a silhouette? It's literally just a silhouette. A lot of people are jumping to conclusions trying to make the connection between the Shimotsuki, the word Shimotsuki, because it was the village, because it was this guy's name, because it was Ryuma's like epithet or his title or whatever. I swear I really do not like the idea that Zoro's from Wano. I
would go along with that line of thought if Zoro didn't have a first and a last name. He has a name. It's Zoro. Like,
no, but the whole thing about the Viva card saying that somebody came from the East, somebody came from Wano, a ship from Wano came to the East Blue, and it's someone that, and I believe that. I believe Koshiro is from Wano. Kuina has lineage in Wano, but Zoro, I really don't want him.
Well, here's what I think about that idea. I think a lot of people are going to believe that, but here's the reason why I don't believe that to be the case. And it goes with that SBS thing. Oda basically said that it was an unimportant story. And Zoro's lineage cannot be something that doesn't matter if it was going to be expanded upon. So that's why I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents.
And here's my 5.
I think we talked about this on the neck to neck that I was in with you. The whole first off, everybody go watch the neck to neck that I was in. Zoro being from Wano, even though he has no like inherent skill as a child with swordsmanship, even though he did say he beat every dojo around there, Koshiro didn't believe that shit. I feel like that gives him an edge. That gives him an edge in accomplishing that dream, and I just think it's an unfair advantage. Polo Tink Tink.
Well, I mean, by that same logic, though, Silvers, it's like Luffy has an unfair advantage becoming the Pirate King because his lineage is literally just Yonko level people.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luffy has an unfair advantage, but
Luffy's granddad, defeated the Rocks, fought Roger to death's door, and then Garp's son is Luffy's dad, and he's the world's most wanted man and wants to take down the world government. And now Luffy is basically like Naruto, right? So
no.
Yeah.
That's just family accomplishments. Naruto is literally the reincarnation of a god.
Yeah, I know. Naruto's is way, way, way worse. I mean, Naruto's is so bad that it actually goes against the themes of the entire series.
Naruto literally told Neji, you don't have to be born great to be great. And then at the end of the series, we find out that Naruto has to be born godly. He was born to be a god.
Yeah, Neji was right all along.
Neji was right. Hashtag Neji was right.
This is the fact. If Neji was wrong, then Rock Lee would have been the main character.
That's why Kishimoto killed Neji, because he didn't want Neji to be alive to go, I told you.
Matter of fact, he probably got pissed off that people probably pointed that out, and that's why he had like Naruto bang Hinata. So I was like, fuck this guy Neji, I'm gonna kill him and then have Naruto fuck his sister.
Hell, in the Rock Lee spinoff, when Naruto and Hinata got married, Neji was against it to the point where Lee and them were holding him back.
That's fucking.
Oh my god, I fucking love that.
Yeah, the Rock Lee spinoff manga is hilarious, man.
That's good.
Maroni said Silver's never heard the saying, "Don't be great, be God." Hashtag Neji was right.
Young Fabio actually has a good question. How do people know that Roger had the One Piece? He never showed anyone what the One Piece looks like. Maybe he just went around saying, "I got a great treasure." I
don't think they called him the Pirate King because of the One Piece. They called him the Pirate King because he was the first person to conquer the entire Grand Line.
Whenever he was being executed, one of the father's citizens was like, "Where's One Piece?"
No, he said, "Where did you hide all of your treasure?"
Yeah.
Where's the One Piece?
But I think the citizen also named it like, "Where's One Piece?" So
he did. He said, "Where's the One Piece?"
Yeah, it probably was. When the four kids dubbed for it, he said, "I left it all in one piece." When I got the official, he said, "I left it all in that place, in one place." how did they come up with the name One Piece? So did some random citizen say where, like he just called Roger's treasure some random name, the One Piece, and they just ran with it?
Maybe it's probably
One Eye
propaganda
Zoro
still.
said Roger might have hit
Oh
the
yeah,
biggest
they were
lick
like
ever.
Roger has like the biggest treasure amassed by a single pirate crew, and then they were like, and then Morgan's father or some shit was like, yeah, it's called the One Piece. It was like a
That's the
fucking
greatest title
newspaper
in the
headline.
verse. Naruto saw Neji with the hands and smashed his sister. Oh my god. It's kind of a fact.
Oh, even in the first chapter, I went back and read it. No one even says One Piece in the first chapter.
Oh, it doesn't?
No one says it in like the actual chapter. No one even says it. He just says, "I left my treasure." Blah blah blah.
Oh wow.
So who the hell came up with the title of calling that treasure the One Piece?
The One Piece might be an anime thing.
Yeah, it was probably just propaganda. They were like, yeah, he has the biggest treasure. He left it all in one place. Okay, let's call it One Piece. It's all one piece of his treasure. No, you know what? Fuck that.
He just says that place.
Oh, he says that place? I thought it was one. I left it all in one place.
No, he says that. It's not even one.
Gee. Newspapers, man.
One place equals One Piece. Laugh tail equals raft tail. The will of D. D is a smiley face. People of D die
it was
smiling.
Big News Morgans who made up the name One Piece. Come on, man.
Nah, the whole thing with the movie saying, oh
Laugh
shit,
tail.
never mind.
Don't say anything. What are you doing?
Yeah, fuck it.
He said, fuck it.
I shouldn't even have started that with the movie. I should have just said it.
Wow. So then you could just spoil?
No, then people wouldn't have known that it was the movie spoiler. Yeah.
Absidy said, theory, the One Piece is all three ancient weapons uniting.
Then how did Roger leave it all on Raftail?
Thank you, Drift. I was going to get it too.
Did he just leave the information there?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be addressed at some point. I doubt it.
Yeah, Drift. Way to be quick on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Big News Morgan's name, Roger Pirate King. That's a fact. The best shit I ever heard is Monkey D. Laffy. Oh my god. But all right, I think since people want to start dropping spoilers, I think it's time we end this.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for coming through. Thank everybody for pulling up. I know it's been a while since I've streamed. I promise I won't be 2 weeks next time. We are not on break next week, correct?
No, we're not.
No.
Perfecto. That sounds good.
All right, stay gold, niggas.
Hey man, stay golden, pony boys.
All right.
All right, we out of this bitch, and I forgot how to turn this off. Oh, we're done.